This Sunday Christian talk, I keep saying Christian talk. This is Sunday gospel talk. I got a lot of good Christian sisters in the back, but it's not limited to that or them. You know, it's about gospel talk, about speaking positive and pushing forward as far as to survive in today's society for the youth as well as, you know, us seasoned fellas. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's where we at, man. So this the gospel talk. So we're going to speak the gospel, which is the truth. So that's where we at. Now, I know that a lot of times that y'all come on here to YouTube, and majority of the things that everyone look for is, excitement. You know what I mean? Gangster, the 80s, the 90s, different time eras, because we're trying to live off of different things. You know what I mean? What I learned since I've been home from YouTube, to give y'all a glimpse into my mind, to give you the gospel of my mind and how I come up with these type of programs, is that I try and give everybody what I feel I would want. You know what I mean? What I feel I would want. Now, I lived the gangster life, not bragging about it, lived it. You know what I mean? So I'm done with it. I'm past it. So it don't intrigue me like that anymore. But I understand that a lot of y'all haven't lived it. So it intrigues you, which is understandable. And it was fun when I lived it. You know what I mean? It wasn't fun doing the 26 years for it, but it was fun while I lived it, you know, keeping it 100. So I came up with this platform because we need to be able to talk to the youth, to tell them, yes, tell them, you know what I mean, how we screwed up. You know what I mean? The mistakes we made. There was no blueprint coming up. There was no blueprint for how to do none of this, how to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying? It was no blueprint. We had to move along and get along, you know what I mean, where we fit in, and surviving was hell back then. We lost a lot of good soldiers, a lot of good sisters in the struggle. I lost my brother in the struggle. You know what I mean? So I know what it's like firsthand to lose someone. Like the other day, I brought my brother on here, Larry Moe, and his wife, Moochie, you know, because they lost their son, you know, Lord Chucky. You know what I mean? So I try and make this channel, you know, entertaining, you know what I mean? Informative, you know, and educational, because I notice people come to YouTube, you know what I mean, to ask questions like, how do I do this? How do I do that? How do I research this? That's what YouTube is for. So they want to come here, they want to know how to be a gangster. So they want to know how to be a gangster. They go to the gangster channels like my man Flip the Script, you know what I mean, Gully TV, and, you know, the other brothers they got up there. Don't forget my man Info Minds, you know, American Dope with my man Al Prophet. There's a whole bunch of them. And I love them all, and I speak on all of them because there's enough room for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I did this. So being that everybody like that gangster talk, that's where you go get the straight gangster all day, every day. And I have no problem with y'all going over there support my brothers that I just mentioned to get the gangster talk. I speak on the gangster talk on my channel so you know who I am and that I'm certified and I'm qualified to speak, you know what I mean, on the streets, because I was a part of the streets. I was a part of the destruction of the streets. So now I'm trying to give back. You know, I made my mistakes, and I'm man enough, and I'm one of the first kingpins to come up here and say that. And I'm one of the first kingpins, or one of the first people to start this type of podcast on YouTube. You know, just so everyone know. Now, my guests, they all listening down below, so I'm gonna bring my brother Hassan up in a second. You know what I mean? That's gonna run this with me. But for my guests down bottom listening, and for the ones watching, I just want to say this. This is how I'm going to begin this today. First of all, Chi wrote me a very good topic to speak on as far as with the youth. My sister, she said, is it also important that young people should be asked as to how they would like to be involved and the direction in which they would like to be mentored? You know what I mean? In other words, y'all have to let us, the elders, know what you feel you need from us so we can give it to you. A closed mouth don't get fed. If you don't tell us we don't know, we can't help you. You know what I mean? So I'm trying a variety of different things to try and hopefully spark the interest, to spark your mind, to hit that light that'll take you in the right direction to do right and not break the law. You understand? And have to be put in prison for 26 years like I did. It didn't take 26 years for me to rehabilitate. It took really about maybe 13. You know what I mean? But, you know, they gave me life. But I worked my way out of it. Brian Francis, what's up, baby? You know what I mean? We did what we did. Good morning, family. You know what I mean? So now that's where we at. So the youth have to let us know what they would like. Now, what I would like to speak on, matter of fact, I'm going to bring everybody up, let them introduce themselves, and then I'm going to speak on that because I've been on here long enough. 5 minutes is too much for my black self. All right? So now let's bring up some of the guests now. I'm going to bring up Sharon Steffens so that she can tell you who she is, where she's from. Or if Sharon, if you like me to bring someone else, nod your head side to side, say no, you don't want to come up now. You want to hear someone else be put on the spot. You ready? Okay, she said she's ready, so we're going to ride. So obviously, I made her feel comfortable with my warm, charming chocolate smile. All right? And I hope it's making y'all feel warm on this Sunday while y'all chilling watching this to begin your, get ready to preparation for your work week so that it's a success. Okay? Go ahead, Sharon. Please tell them who you are.
Hi, I'm Sharon Stevens, and I'm from Danville, Virginia.
Okay, all right. So this is Gospel Talk. That's Sharon. Now we're going to bring up our sister, Anita. Unmute your mic, sis. Please.
Hi, okay. I'm Anita. Hello, I'm Anita Bryant, and I'm from Long Island, New York.
Okay, turn your mic down just a little bit. You sound great. Now, I got to bring up my partner in crime, but I had to bring a few ladies first. Let me bring, I'm going to save those two, but I'm going to bring my brother up, my partner in crime. Big Hoss, what's up, baby?
Good morning, good morning. What's up now? What's up now? How everybody doing? Good morning. I'm Big Hoss from Harlem, you know.
This is how we going to do it, man. This is our Sunday service, so y'all tell a friend to tune in, because this is how we doing on Sunday. All right? Now, I got to think. Okay, we're going to bring Audrey in. All right? Audrey is one of our good sisters that's always got something positive to say that's very informative to help the youth. You know, she helped me a few times. So y'all know who Audrey is before Audrey get in. When I was locked up, Audrey contacted me. She used to come to Club 2000. And Audrey used to drive all the way from South Carolina to Coleman, Florida to come visit me in prison. And she don't know how much I appreciate that. I might not say it the way she would like me to say it because I'm an old stubborn gangster. You know what I mean? But I'm saying it publicly now for Audrey to know, man, you God sent. It brings tears to my eyes to think about how loyal and committed you was to helping to keep me sane during that 26 years. And to my last breath, I'm going to appreciate that because I don't forget none of the hell I've been through. That's why I'm trying to get our children and our grandchildren right with my platform. Okay? Now tell them who you are, sis.
One way to put somebody on the spot. Good morning, everyone. I'm Audrey. I'm from Harlem. I live in South Carolina now. Hello, everyone.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you. I appreciate what you said. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think it was putting you on the spot. That was just me giving you a compliment from my heart in front of everybody. I tell you in private on the phone how I feel. Because one of the big things, one of the lessons that I want y'all to get from today's show, I got two more to bring up for what she just said. This is what my platform is about. People would sit here and do things in private, you know what I mean? But they do another thing in public. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let me show you what I mean with that, because we're on some gospel talk. We're going to speak on the truth. Meaning somebody would say something that they feel is disrespectful in public around other people, but then they want to call you on the phone and say, I'm sorry, instead of saying they're sorry in front of the people that they disrespected you in front of.
Mm-hmm.
Don't disrespect me in public and apologize in private, because then your apology don't mean it to me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why, Audrey, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just letting you know in front of everyone that I appreciate you, and I want them to know the loyal sister you are to me, and that, you know what I mean, you introduced me to these other women that I don't know. But because of the love and respect I have for you, they contacted me that they wanted to start a podcast on our gospel thing and all that. So I said, well, I was getting ready to do it anyway. So I bring the sisters up and I give them the game for free. They don't even have to give me a cash app. You know, I'm just saying, but that's how family do. Oh, am I saying something wrong? Would you like to come off and listen from the sideline? Or you're not used to getting compliments? You know what I mean? I appreciate you and I love you. That's all this is. You know what I mean? You're screwing your face up like I'm saying something wrong. I'm just trying to
No. I wasn't screwing my face up like you said anything wrong. No, that's not what I'm doing here. I think I'm gonna have to sneeze or something. I mean,
okay. All right, well, I'll take off for a second for you to sneeze while I bring up Norma and her beautiful daughter that gave me Hell the other night on Grown Folks Talk. Thanks, okay, so let's bring Norma up. Norma, come on up, man, so we can see where we at. Take your mute. Your mic is muted, which I didn't want to happen. Your mic is muted.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Unique.
Good morning.
My name is Norma Bryant. I'm from born in South Carolina, raised in Harlem, moved to Queens. Now I'm in Jersey. So I've been a little bit of everywhere, all over, but I'm here to do exactly what Unique says, serve our children and the generation coming behind us so that we can show them where the rocks are so that they don't make the mistakes that we made.
Amen.
Okay, now we're going to bring one of the youth in, which happens to be yours and which happens to be my nemesis because she was trying to ride on my Grown Folks Talk because she's a little younger and slicker than me. You know what I mean? Yeah, introduce yourself, sis.
Hi, I'm Tangier, and I'm from Queens, New York.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. That's Norma's daughter. Don't she look just like her? I just hope Norma didn't give me a hard time like her daughter did. Let's bring beautiful that put all this together. Audrey, you ready? Okay. I think she's saying she's ready. All right. You ready, babe? How you doing? All right. So now I want to begin by letting everybody know that even though this is called gospel, you know what I mean? Gospel talk. A lot of people, they hear certain words and only look at it one way. I do it too. I hear certain words and things. Like the other day, my brother Self said something to me, and I don't remember what it was, but I looked at it the way I'm used to hearing it, or what used to seeing it applied. But I know that words are universal. They go both ways. You know what I mean? They could be harmful and they could be helpful. They could be loving. They could be hateful. You know what I mean? So even though we're calling it gospel talk, this is not a religious show. You know what I mean? It's just something to spiritually uplift you. And I happen to have good Christian sisters up here and Christian brothers and everybody else. But now I want everyone to know that no matter what, we have one God. One God.
Amen.
It don't matter what name we put on it, whether it's Jah, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah, it's one God. We're praying to a higher power. As long as we can surrender, you know what I mean, our earthly desires and put our faith, you know, in our Heavenly Father, that we don't have to see him, you know what I mean, to know that he exists because he's in us and we feel him within our heart. We feel him within our heart with every breath we take. You know what I mean? So this is not about one religion. This is just us speaking in general, you know. And now faith, you know, faith to me is having faith in God first. And once you have faith in God, then you'll be able to have faith in yourself. Before you have faith in yourself, you must first have faith in God because God brought you here and God has the preordained plan for what's going to happen. We just don't know what's going to happen yet. You know what I mean? But he gives us many different roads and lanes to travel down. You know what I mean? And it's up to us to pick the right one, like Adam and Eve with the, you know, with the fruit tree. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so we could go where we at. Now, once you have faith in yourself, then you're capable of have faith in others, whether it's in a friendship, a relationship, being a parent, or being anything. But you got to have faith. You know what I mean? And that's faith in yourself that you're doing the right thing and you're moving on accord with God's movement. Now, the first question I have to y'all is, what is faith to you? Start with Sharon.
To me, I thought faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. To me, it's believing without seeing. You have to believe first before you can do anything or have anything. You got to believe you can do it before you can have it. So to me, that's what faith is believing without seeing.
Beautiful, beautiful. Anita? I can't hear you. Take the mute off, sis, please.
Faith is trusting God in every aspect. Even when, like, let's say, even when I don't feel well, I have to trust God that He's gonna bring me through that, and that's faith to me. Trusting God no matter what.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Big Hoff.
I believe faith is somewhat what is your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's believing in God and in your actions and your deeds. You know, I believe faith, is first starts in the mind. You have to first have, keep an open mind and keep a positive mind so that you can exercise your faith. And once you have a positive mind, then you can exercise your faith.
But I believe you should have a pure heart just as well, Big Heart. Speak on that.
Oh yeah, well, that's imbalance. The heart and the mind, they imbalance with each other. Yeah. So what happens is, you have to keep those both in balance so that so that you can exercise your faith, because your heart will tell you one thing and your mind will tell you something else. You know what I mean? So what happens is it's about exercising that discipline. It's about exercising that discipline on a daily basis, and it's about involving yourself in things that's going to build up your faith and strengthen your faith. And strengthen your faith. So, involving yourself and doing things that exercise your faith. So, your faith is just not in words. Your faith is in deeds. Because once your faith becomes in deeds, then what happens is you'll see the manifest in actions. You know what I mean? Like you have to believe. Moses in Exodus 3:13-16, when he asked God, what is his name? What he tell the children of Israel his name is, he said, my name is I am. So you know what I'm saying? You first have to say, I am worthy, I am good, I am great, I am somebody. So you know what I'm saying? That's one of the exercises of faith. There's many ways to exercise faith, but that's one of them.
It's the same thing with Rastafarianism with I and I.
Right.
I believe in God, I and I believe in Jah. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I saw one God, man. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's one power. But because we come from different continents of the world and have different dialects, you know what I mean? We have different way of expressing it, where certain words might mean different things, but that don't mean it's any different.
Exactly.
Okay. Audrey, what is faith to you, sis? Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted. Not a problem. Yeah, there you go. We hear you, sis.
I'm sorry. Faith to me is like, I guess piggyback off of what Sharon said, is seeing the unseen and believing in a higher being when you don't have anything else to believe in. You have to you have to have something to believe in to go
on. Okay. You finished? Would you like to add some more to that, sis? If not, no problem.
Huh?
I said, if not, no problem. I'm just saying I didn't want to cut you off and go to the next person until you was ready.
No, you go to the next person.
Okay. All right, Norma, go ahead. We're going to save the youngin' for last. Maybe she learns something. I got to ride her because my chance. I got mom's head. She can't jump out on me like she did the other night.
Faith to me is believing in something or someone. We as spiritual beings, we believe in God or a higher power. However, I'm learning that your faith could appear to be something, but not. So we need to really understand what it is that we believe in, and that's what your faith is attached to. Whatever it is you believe in, that's what your faith is attached to. Because I realized there was a time where I thought my faith was connected to God, but I understand now that my faith was connected to my mother, because every time I got in trouble, I ran to my mother to pray for me. I ran to my mother to help me. I ran to my mother, and I didn't realize that I was depending more on her than I was on God. But I believe that your faith is believing in something outside of yourself.
Okay, I like that. Okay, Tangier, let's hear you. You're on there. 25 years old. What's faith to you? Tangier, you want to take your mute off?
Faith to me, I agree with what Sharon said. I think faith is pretty much believing in the things that you cannot see, believing in things to happen before they happen, before they come to pass. If you wait for things to come to pass to say that it's faith, it's really not. So I agree with what she said as my definition of what faith is.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, so who has a question would like to start off with their question before I get my mind? Somebody got a question y'all want to bring first? Who want to ask the first question? Anita, please, let's focus. Okay, go ahead, Audrey. We can unmute your mic. Unmute your mic.
I thought it was. What do you do when you lose faith? Like, how do you restore your faith in whatever is going on?
Would someone like to answer that? What do you do when you lose faith? What do you do to restore that? Anita, it's on you.
What I do when I feel I'm losing faith is I stay around like-minded people, like that like church people, like people that believe in God, people that can lift me up in, in the word of God. That's what I do when I feel like I'm losing faith.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, Sharon. Hold on, Hoff. Let Sharon go. Go ahead, Sharon.
What I would learned was faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. That means we have to listen twice as much to things that would build our faith than we do speaking it out. Instead of complaining or thinking on things that you don't have, or thinking on things that you would need or you're missing, we got to build our faith by hearing and hearing the word of God. So you have to go to maybe your Bible, go to somebody that you can talk to and talk to them just as much as if you would continue to think on your problem. So faith, you have to go back. I always say, go back to the beginning, go back to the thing that got you to where you were before before you lost it, because faith can leak. So, you can lose your faith over time if you don't do the things that you would normally do to keep your faith built up in the very beginning. So if you have to go back to the beginning, meaning go back to praying, go back to church, well, not church, but go back to your spiritual person that you would normally talk to, go back to that, and then start from there and start rebuilding back up again. Go back to the beginning is what I would say.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, my person that I go to when I feel like I'm losing faith or losing myself, I go to Norma. Norma is my aunt, but like I go to her like a lot because she's just that person for me that when I'm not good in my walk with Christ, she helps me come back.
Okay, that's good. Haas, I'm let you come in right now. Just want to speak on that. I had that that same question that I was going to propose. Do you feel that it's beneficial to be around other like-minded people that's into what you're into, whether it's Christianity, faith, drugs, robbing, whatever? Not telling everybody to go rob nothing, telling everybody to do the right thing, but I just use that in it. You know what I mean? What do you feel about that? About the type of who we surround ourselves with? Does that have an impact on us? We know it do, but somebody say something so the younger generation or the older ones that don't know realize that they are who the company they keep. Go ahead, Haas. I'm gonna let you take that one, family.
Well, in terms about faith, ever since I acquired faith, my faith has never waned. Because the reason why my faith has never waned for the simple fact that I understand that even in hard times, God is with me. I understand that, even in good times, God is with me. What happens is, I've done is I've developed a relationship with him, with whatever I call him and how he speaks to me. And, so I start understanding to learn how to connect with that voice. That's, what I'm saying, especially when it comes in your mind, because you have different voices into your mind. You'll have a negative voice into your mind. And, I'm saying, through constant reading the scriptures, I understand that, fear is sin, doubt is sin. So, once those things start coming into my mind, I start exercising ways to get them out of my mind so that, so my faith doesn't wane. Because if I need God's energy to channel through me, I have to do it through belief. Romans 8:24 and 25 says that, faith is connected to hope. You cannot see hope. Because if what you hope for, you can't. If you see it, you're no longer hoping for it. So it's through the connection through the scriptures and through all of the scriptures, that I make my connection with God. And one of the things that we're exercising faith is isolation. A lot of times you have to get away from everybody to understand your purpose and yourself. And in that process, you can go to the scriptures. You can look at with Jesus. When Jesus first went on his pilgrimage, he stayed away for 40 days and 40 nights. Then after he met John the Baptist, the wild guy, you know what I mean? He first got with John the Baptist, and then he went away for 40 days and 40 nights. and before he went on his pilgrimage. So it's through isolation, you know, like with Moses. Moses was on the run for 40 years. You know what I mean? He was on the run for 40 years through isolation. So what happens is through this isolation that, you know what I'm saying, that we develop growth. And you know, when you study, so it's through that, you know what I'm saying, because you hear your voice and not someone else's. Because someone else's voice could be whatever it may be. But you know, in Psalms 27:10 it says, if my mother and father forsake me, God will lift me up. So what happens is that, you know, that if the most vital people in your life are not there, God is always there. So you have to make a relationship, but he's my best friend. So when I'm happy, I call him, because a lot of times you find yourself, you get some good news and you want to call your friend, but who helps you get the good news? God helps you get the good news. So go talk to him first. So that's how I utilize, because a lot of times you go talk to a friend, they might not even want to hear your good news. That's what the gospel means. Gospel means good news. So what happens is that some people are not ready to receive it. So you have to make sure that you're ready to receive it and you develop and strengthen yourself.
There you go. All right. Go ahead, Audrey. You had something to say? Your mic is muted. Yeah.
You know how you were saying about hearing the voices and everything? I know there are God's good and God's are evil. So how do you know when the good God is talking to you and when the bad God is talking to you?
Because you know right from wrong. Because you know
right from wrong.
let me finish. This is not a debate. I'm not attacking you. This is my opinion. That don't make it right. You know, it's my okay. My opinion is we know right from wrong. God gave us everything we need. We have the will. You understand what I'm saying? We have the mind. We have the desire. Everything that I'm doing that I did in the last 4 months that everybody's saying is so this and so that, because I just came home, hit the ground running. Everyone else have the power to do that. It's up to you if you choose to do it. Now, to get back to the answer that I feel to your question, what I have is the way I interpret it is, we know right from wrong. So therefore, we can take our time and meditate through whatever situations we're having, you know what I mean, to talk to ourselves with the mind and the things that God gave us to be able to, you know, we know, like somebody asks you, you know, yo, hold this weed or hold this blade real quick, because I had a beef with a girl in the train and I've been carrying around my box cutter, old 80s joint, you know what I mean? So in case the girl act up, I got my box cutter. So she tell you going to college, and your girl tell, man, hold this real quick because I got to run the store. I forgot I even had this with me. And she leave it with you and then run in the store. Right then, you already know when that happens, you're supposed to be able to talk to yourself. It's called, in psychology, it's called cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. You're supposed to know how to analyze everything in your mind real quick, to think about, like, freeze the picture, say, is this picture proper? You know what I mean? Is this where I'm trying to go? You know what I mean? What could happen if I get caught with this blade that she's asking me to hold? You understand what I'm saying? And when you're supposed to be able to put all that through your mind in that second to say, you know what? Nah, I'm not going to hold that. You weren't supposed to have that. And you weren't supposed to come with me if you're having these type of beefs, because you know I'm in school trying to do the right thing. So you have the power and the will and everything you need to take your time and figure out whatever suggestion that you have. It just depends where we at in life, if we could really go to the next level. But we do have it in us. But that don't mean that we have it. We've experienced the height of our mentality to be able to carry it out in a positive aspect when those negative and positive demons start to speak. But just keep in mind that God gave you everything you need to survive. That means even to communicate with the devil on your left shoulder, to deal with, you know, his angel on your right shoulder. So even though they both talking, you know what I mean?
Right.
You in the middle, and you know right from wrong, and you know the little things that might turn into something big and escalate. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. That's my opinion. Go ahead,
So what
Audrey.
I'm trying to say is that you went the wrong route with it to me, because I'm not saying things that's obvious. I'm saying the things that's not obvious to you. Like, all right, for instance, with me, I use myself. I've been stalling on going to take this to go get licensed to be a social worker. I got degrees, did all that stuff. But it's like I keep on in my mind, this is not a good time. This is not a good time. You can't focus. You can't retain the material, things like that. Maybe you need to wait. I don't know if that's a lot of good or a lot of evil stalling on my progression, because sometimes it may be I'm taking the wrong route. Like, I think we were talking about that earlier, Norma and Anita. We were talking about how I said that my heart turned black, and for a long time there was a lot of things that I couldn't receive. So I'm thinking that maybe I have a something that's there that stops me. But as of lately, I don't know exactly the moment it happened or how it happened. I started to believe in God and take baby steps on what I need to do for, to not stifle myself in certain situations.
Okay, I got that. Anita, when you situated, let me know, sis. I can see you down bottom. I got that, Audrey. And my thing is, you started off and you answered your question at the beginning of it. You say you know you're supposed to be able to do this. You know you're supposed to do that. That's what you said. You begun by saying, I know I'm supposed to get my license and I know I'm supposed to such and such. Am I right?
Exactly.
Y'all heard it say, or did I just hear say that?
No, you're right. You're
Yes.
right.
Okay, I got
Exactly.
one more example.
That's
Like, all right, I was getting ready to switch jobs. And then it didn't go through, but it was a better paying job. And then it was like pandemic hit, and that job got shut down. You see what I'm saying? So if I'd have made that move, listening and following to the where I went to school for,
I want
I
to
would have been
speak
out
on
of.
that though.
Go ahead, go ahead, Tina. Go ahead.
Tan, go ahead, Tan. Yeah, it's on you. Tangier, you said you wanted to speak. Please speak. Okay. Norma, you wanted to say something. Go ahead while Tan get her thoughts right. Mute.
It's like her thing is stuck. It's like her mic is. She's stuck.
No, she's not talking. I'm looking at her. She's not
yeah,
even moving her finger
her
from her face.
mic is stuck. Yeah,
So what I
I'm
was gonna say,
gonna go. Yeah, I can go now. You need.
Yeah, go ahead.
hello, can you can't hear me?
We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
Yes, we hear you.
Uh-oh.
you can't hear
Yes,
me?
we hear you. Yes, we hear you. Yo, come on, Norma, speak. While she go out and come back
Yes.
in.
Hello?
Go out and come back in, Tangier. You know how to do that, babe. All right.
Okay. So what I was gonna say is on a couple of things that we just talked about. One of the things is that our brother Hassan, he spoke about faith, and one of the things that I'm understanding about faith before I answer your question, Audrey, is that faith is your unshakable belief in God. Whatever you believe in God is what it is. That never changes. So even though we're in a position where we're going through something, it's not your faith that's shaken. It's that you don't have enough word in you, because faith comes by hearing what God's word says. The moment you get that word and attach it to your situation, you're going to be able to believe the thing that it is that you're seeking God for, the trial, the tribulation. The reason why
Amen.
we as a people hear God give us instructions about something and we don't move is because of the fear within ourselves. We talk ourselves in and out of everything. But God has empowered us to do any and everything that we want to do. And I think that's what Unique was saying. The moment you hear something in your spirit, now you got to meditate on it. Now you got to say, okay, God, what is it that you would like to do? And Proverbs 3, it tells me, everything I do, I acknowledge God. I lean not to my own understanding. In all thy ways I acknowledge him, and he's going to direct my path. So let's say you would have took the other job and then it went out and now you're unemployed. Okay, well, maybe that was the vessel God was going to use to get you to back in school, because now you can devote your time full time to go back to school. Why? Because I know that all things are going to work together for my good. There is no wrong decision that I get to make. Why? Because grace is covering me and my heart is pure in God and the choices and the things that I make. So I know that I'm not doing anything maliciously. I know that I'm not doing it trying to hurt anybody. I know I'm doing it so that God can get the glory out of my life. So whatever decision you make, you just got to take steps knowing that God is with you. And I think somebody said that in the beginning. You got to know your faith tells you that no matter what, God is with me. So I can't make a wrong decision per se, because God is with me. You know what I'm saying? So meditate on what it is. Fear is the only thing that's keeping you from doing it. But how will you know if you could do it if you never try?
Well, I already did the classes and I got the degree. I just didn't go get
I'm
licensed.
good.
So yeah, you're right.
No, Audrey,
I agree
to,
with
to, add
you.
on, to add on to what she's saying, and what I want y'all to understand is that, life is hard, man. Life is hard. And God put us through all types of things and through different trials and tribulations to test our faith to see if we're worthy of what he gives us. You understand what I'm saying? So we might want something now, you know what I mean? But God might not feel now at the time. Like me, let me give you an example. And cut me off if I get long-winded. You know what I mean? Throw your hand up, tell me to shut up. But now, when I got locked up, I didn't want to be locked up. You know what I mean? So I did everything in my power to get out of jail. You understand what I'm saying? And I was wrong. And that's what kept me in jail that long. You know? And the key word that I said was everything within my power instead of leaving it in God's hands. You know what I mean?
Amen.
When I finally decided to leave my life in God's hands, everything else fell into play. You know what I mean? I started comprehending my ABCs better. You know what I mean? I started comprehending the mindset of the people that they had me trapped within a cage with. I started comprehending my own mindset. I prayed every night for 26 years before I go to bed. I said a prayer. Every night for 26 years before I went to bed, I said a prayer. You know what I mean? And now, while I'm saying that prayer every night, I'm asking God, please look out for my children, my mother, my kids' mother, and everyone, you know, that's going through heartache in the world. And I capped it off with, please release me this year. I'm ready to go home to my family. I'm going to be a better man. I'm going to be a changed man. I said all these things every night for 26 years, where at the beginning, when I had cellies, guys that I had to live with in the cell, they were, man, you keep asking God to let you out every year, and he still ain't let you out yet. When you gonna stop? You know what I mean? I said, when I take my last breath, because God is not gonna let me go until he allow me to take my last breath. And I will get out. You know what I mean? And they laughed at me. But the moral of the story is, while I was in heartache and hardships, I was asking for God's assistance. Many people, things was going good then too. Meaning, man, I got money on my books. I can talk on the phone. I got good mail. I got pictures. I'm getting good support. Everything is good. So while everything is good, I'm still praying. So I'm saying that to pivot off to a lot of people try and wait, you know, until, you know, they're in hard times before they say, God. Because we always start off with God help me. Because we only call for God when we need help. You know what I mean? But me, I thank God every morning when I woke up in prison. I said, God, thanking you for allowing me to wake up another day to fight for my freedom one last time and not let me die in this cage. You know what I mean? And I got dressed and I went to the law library to use what God gave me to try and put together a plan with the tools that God gave me. You understand what I'm saying? To get me, you know, back into society where I'm at today. Go ahead, Tan. You want to say something? Tangier.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect. Yes, I am still. Someone asked, "Am I still praying every night?" Yes, I'm still praying every night because I haven't gotten that $100 million check yet. Until God brings me this $100 million check, so I can get my life back. I'm going to continue to pray. You know what I mean? And when I get it, I'm going to still pray when I get that $100 million. You understand what I'm saying? Because now I'm going to need him to guide me on what to do with it proper this time than when I got it with all the haranguing and all the negativity that I did selling drugs and everything else to get it the last time. Because that wasn't how he wanted me to get it. So he didn't give me the wisdom on how to invest in and do what needed to be done. And it's my fault. You know what I mean? Because I made bad choices. You know what I mean? And that's where it's at. Just so you know. So, you know, that's where we are. In other words, don't wait till the last minute to start saying, God. You know what I mean? God, help me. You know what I mean? Say, God, thank you. You know what I mean? For what? For this paycheck. For what? For having my daughter come home safe. You understand what I'm saying? Tell God, thank you for the things you're thankful for. Like I began, and not to pick on you, Audrey, but for y'all to tell me, maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But I began this show because this is the first time I got a chance to really even talk to Audrey since I've been home 7 months. And like I said, Audrey ran up and down the highway visiting me as a loyal friend. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, drove 8, 9 hours, had to rent a car, I had to get a hotel room, met people that I didn't like along the way, and you know, all types of things. You know what I mean? A bunch of trials and tribulations. but she was there as a friend, and I gave her the compliment that I feel she deserved publicly. You know what I mean? So that there's no question in her mind that I appreciated her. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to wait until I can give a financial gain, or when she's down on her luck, or wait till she's dead to say in her obituary, or oh, you was a good friend. No, I'm going to tell her today and give her flowers today. You was an excellent friend. I love you. I loved you holding me down. And that was some of the most trying times of the 26 years, and you don't even know it. But that's because I couldn't give it to you. But I gave you a lot of negative feedback from the negativity that was going on within me, and I apologize for that too. You know what I mean? Because I'm human. But we have to learn to tell our fellow, comrades, family, and associates, how we feel, when we feel, even when it's something positive, and not just when they do something wrong. Why are we quick to say, "Oh, I don't like the way you did that. I don't like the way you talk to me." You know what I mean? Instead of, "Man, I like the way you did your eyebrows. The eyebrows look nice." You understand what I'm saying? Just the little compliments that might not mean anything to you would lift somebody's spirit so much because they might have thought, "Man, I'm rushing. I ain't getting eyebrows like I wanted today." And you say, "Man, your eyebrows look nice." Might have lifted their spirits to where they needed to go. So now they could go in that interview, bash their eyelashes, and get that job. You know what I mean? Or get that bonus. You know? And John Jones said, for almost every lesson in the history of the scripture, there's an example. Do y'all agree with that?
Yes.
Why?
You're one. You're one. You're one.
Mhm.
You're an example, Unique.
How do you see
You're an
that?
example.
How do you
You're
see
an
it?
example of Joseph.
Explain that to the
Of
people
Joseph.
who know who Joseph is and how you see me compared to Joseph in this instance. Hey, Sandy Richard.
Okay. Because Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. Because he had a pretty coat. So he has something. He has something that everybody wanted. He has something that would capture everyone's attention. You know what I mean? So at some point in life, you was in a position where you capture everybody's attention. Then what I'm saying, his brother set him up, and he ended up in the dungeons of Egypt. So while he was in the dungeons of Egypt for all this time, he started having dreams. You know what I mean? He started exercising his faith. And through that. It got word to the Pharaoh. Word got back to the Pharaoh. It's a dude in a cell. He's dynamic. You know what I mean? So that word got to the Pharaoh. When the Pharaoh started talking to him, he seen that he was legitimate, and then he came and put him out in Egypt to rule. So you was in jail for 26 years. You know what I mean? After being being notable, you went in jail for 26 years. And now, and being that you working for God and you working for the people, there's nothing else but nothing else can come in your favor but for you to rule.
Okay, you know what? And I'm gonna give you one to add on to that. If y'all got something to say, y'all go ahead. I want to dominate this. You know what I mean? Y'all listening? Okay. Now, this summer 2018, they put me in a SHU. That means special housing unit. They locked me up in prison on indefinite solitary confinement because they was trying to break me because they wanted me to lie on another female staff that started a big lawsuit that won $20 million from the Department of Justice for sexual harassment down in Coleman, Florida, where Audrey used to come visit me. Now, they put me in a hole because they figured I've been locked up 25 years and I would be a perfect person to be ready to roll over to start telling to, get better benefits in prison or whatever. You know what I mean? Because they try to send me to a nice jail. I refused, and they sent me to California. I didn't want to go to California because I was 45 minutes from my mother. She didn't come see me because we couldn't deal with it because I haven't saw my mother for 18 years. And after I used to go partying with my mother when she was in her 50s. And now we're talking about 20-something years later where now this woman come walking in with a walker. And yeah, I said this woman because I didn't even recognize her. I haven't seen her for 18 years. You understand what I'm saying? So now I get to see, what time has done to me, what my choices has done to me. Now I'm starting to see how my choices affected, you understand, the people that I love the most because I wasn't there for my mother. I wanted to be there to rub her leg so she didn't have to use the walker. I wanted to be there to give her that massage. I wanted to be there to take her for a walk around the block. You know what I mean? But my choices took me away from that, But like I said, I didn't want to go way out to California But I said, you know what, God has put me there for a reason, so let me go on out there. You know what I mean? I went out there, and when I went out there, I met the psychiatrists out there. They looked at what I've been doing at the other jail, even the jail that they said that I wasn't programming, and that's why they put me out. They thought I was doing a great job. So they put me in the psychiatry department, did what I had to do, me speed it up now. So now after I done did all of that, I done come back. But before I went there, I was in a hole that summer. And instead of reading hood books, you know what I mean? They had the Bible and the Quran. So I read the Quran because, you got to read it during the month of Ramadan. But I started reading the Bible from the very beginning, from Genesis. And I got to the part that you're speaking on that I didn't know nothing about. Like I said, I couldn't read or write growing up, and I definitely wasn't going to nobody's church growing up. You know what I mean? Not bragging, I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? Church was like, a plague, you know what I mean, to me on the street. But anyway, I read that Bible from page 1. I made it all the way to Judges 2, I think it was. But I came across that part that you're talking about, Haas, where his brother sold him because his mother was treating him good. That's what
right.
Esau, remember with his brother Esau.
Right.
In the caves, he started having dreams, and I remembered about the fig. You know what I mean? Where he told the Pharaoh that he had a dream because he had a dream of a skinny cow on the side of the water and a fat cow on the side of the water, and a skinny fig and a healthy fig.
That's right.
And from those, the skinny ones ate the good ones. You know what I mean? And he went, and the Pharaoh was losing crops and all this other stuff. And
that's right.
He was in jail, and he talked to the Pharaoh's man. You know what I mean? Right-hand man who gave him the game. And he took the game, and he went back and told the Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh, he told him, well, put up X amount of weeds because, you're going to be a shortage of weed for the next 7 years. So you got to start stocking the weed so that, the figs, so that we'll have the figs to eat when it's a drought. You know what I mean? Now, he put that away. And when he put that away, then when the 7-year drought did come, he was prepared. You know what I mean? So the Pharaoh saw that. The Pharaoh moved him out the dungeon, you know what I mean? And put him up there to guide them. So by him having up there to guide them, then now here come his brothers who were starving, and they come to get the wheat, the only wheat that was saved by brother Joseph, that he told the Pharaoh to save. You know what I mean? So now he gets all the wheat, and the brothers come, and the brothers don't even recognize him because the brothers tricked them, you know what I mean, into slavery, and went back and told his mother, who they thought was pampering him, you know what I mean, that, he got eaten by a wolf. He's dead. The mother cried like a man. He wasn't dead. They just had him in slavery, their own brother. Then when he ran into them, now he's in power because he's the one enlightening the Pharaoh with the dreams that he's having by God speaking to him. So Pharaoh took him out the cage, you know what I mean, and put him as his right hand. And he still looked out for his brothers. And he said,
he sure did.
And make sure my mother gets this. And he still didn't tell them, his own brothers, who he was. Now Ernesto Peso put this on the screen to change it. He said, I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness. Now, that right there is a justification for what you know is wrong. If you're asking for forgiveness, you already know stealing wasn't right. And if you know to ask for forgiveness, that means that you already know that what the Bible says. So one of the commandments is thou shalt not steal. You know what I mean? So you all the way out of pocket, big brother. I love you, Ern, but I got to keep 100. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have stole the bike. You wouldn't have had to ask for forgiveness. You should have asked God for forgiveness while you broke. You know what I mean? And can't afford
so with patience, wait on it.
And I'm sure, and I tell you what, I bet you there was cars in your neighborhood that was dirty. I bet you was grass in your neighborhood that was high. And God gave you the strength, you know what I mean, to go wash them daggone cars and get $2 to add up to buy that bike. So God give us everything we need to get what we need, man. You could have went and washed a couple of cars. You understand what I'm saying? You could have went packed a couple of bags at the grocery store like me and Hassan and a lot of other brothers from our era did back in the day. You know what I mean? Before the self-checkout that I come home to find after 26 years, which is crazy. They expect me to sit here and honestly put my stuff in the bag and then hit my credit card. I mean, I'm a changed man, but man, I got to get used to this change here. I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? Because I know everybody done went up there and looked around and said, man, ain't nobody looking. Let me drop this in the bag. You know, I still have these negative criminal thoughts because it's still within me. I'm trying to get it up out of me. Don't laugh at me, Tangi. I'm an old man just being honest. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm not going to lie. But I mean, I've never seen nothing like that. You know, the thought is always there and the flesh is weak. You know what I mean? Just like we know we're not supposed to go in the pandemic without covering up and things like that, but we still want to look cute, want to see that pretty chocolate smile. So we go out without a mask. You know what I mean? But we know better. You know, we know better. Like all you said, you know, there's positive and there's negative. You know, Sandy Richardson yelling, there's cameras everywhere on the goddamn thing. But we already know cameras everywhere, but our criminal mentality is everywhere we go. You know what I mean? So we got to fight to get those out of us by being with spiritual people like minded that's watching this and that we have on the panel to try and help us through these negative demons that we wind up coming up with. You follow what I'm saying? Because we just stupid, man. But I feel that.
Can I add something?
Always.
I definitely wanted to speak on going back to what Audrey said. How do you know if something is good or bad? Like,
okay.
Because I know, listen, I was on Grown Folks Talk for 2 hours yesterday, and I ain't had a connection issue the whole time. Now I'm on a spiritual call, and all of a sudden, I can't seem to stay on. I cannot seem to stay on. I'm like, the devil is so busy. Listen, I need to hit
what I need. Not that positive energy.
Listen, I know. And my cousin asked me a question that I wanted to answer so badly, and I could not get to it because of my connection issues. But look at God, because my mother said exactly what I was going to say. So that just goes to show you that whatever you need and whatever needs to be said, regardless of how it's going to get done, is going to get done. Anything that God wants to put in your way, it's going to come, whether it's from me, whether it's from my mother. Sometimes you don't make it places. Right? If I didn't make it on this call to say, if my mother didn't make it on this call to say, it's still going to happen because it's divine. Whatever God has for you, you're going to get it. Whether you sit at the desk and doubt yourself for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to happen. Nobody can stop what God has for you. And if it's meant for you to be a social worker, you're going to get that. And a lot of times it is the fear that overtakes us. It is the fear. Like even when it comes to starting a business, starting a podcast, it's like, man, I'm not going to do that. It's not the right time. I'm going to wait till next week, this week. That's fear. That's exactly what it is. And fear is not of God. Anything that God has put in your heart to do, go after it, chase it, and put those doubts to the back of your mind. And that's what I just wanted to say to you as your cousin, because I believe in you.
Okay. Well, I'll mute the mic. Hold on, Hosh, after Audrey.
I have been told I will make a good social worker, but I don't feel like my heart is into it like it once was. Like we was talking on the call one morning, because we talk every morning, about working with the teenage girls because of the things that I've been through growing up in Harlem as a teenager, you know, being a teenage mom and different things like that. But I don't know if my heart is into it anymore. I'm thinking, I'm hoping and I'm guessing that I'm losing my direction a little bit. And I just need, you know, even when we were talking about doing a podcast, let's say, me and everybody was saying what their input could be. And maybe it's for that platform and not on a different scale because it might be too much for me to handle. Far as with I take on people's problems sometimes and I internalize it. So that might not be the best thing for me. So God maybe just helped me figure things out or sort it out before actually, you know, taking it to the next level.
But Audrey, I think that you should, I'm gonna let you go right now, House. Just a quick second to Audrey. I think that you should be a little bit more enthusiastic about the things that you want to do. And because like you're just sitting here and you're telling me how you're feeling and you're showing it. You're showing it like this.
No, I'm trying to get to the phone so I won't move.
No, you can. But what I'm saying is have more faith, you know what I mean, in your desires that you know is right. You know what I mean? Because you know your desire to help others has been in you from I met you. You know what I mean? You've told me that's what you wanted. You went to school for it. You didn't put all that time in and then back out. Because it didn't happen when you wanted, don't mean it's time to back out either. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, I think that you'll be a perfect social worker because you've been through it and you know how to deal with crazy people like me because you've dealt with me. You know what I mean? So you know both sides of the fence. And, you know, so I think you'll be excellent. And I think that you should really write out a curriculum starting off with 1, 2, 3. You know, what are the first 3 things you need to do, you know what I mean, to get on there? You know what I mean? I mean, to get yourself in order. You know?
Toy, Toy, can you piggyback off of that? Because I think that's the field that you're in, right?
Excuse me?
Yes. So you want to be a social worker, or is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I was going to talk to you off camera. But to be a social worker, you probably the first thing you would want to do
I can't hear him.
is contact your local Department of Social Services in your area. That's where I would start.
I can't hear you.
The supervisor there, so that they can give you a rundown of what their day looks like and some of the things that they run into.
I can't hear you.
To see if that's. Oh, I don't know.
My
mic is on. Can y'all hear me? Can everybody else?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
I can hear her.
I can hear.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
don't know. I'll tell you after the show. But what I was saying is that mainly the best thing to do is probably research first to make sure it's something that you want to do. Call your local Department of Social Services in your area. Speak to a supervisor or a director so that you can find out what their daily activities are, their daily what they do daily, because that's what it's going to be mainly. It's not going to be some big grandiose thing. It's going to be what you do daily to help the people. And we need to find out first what that is, and also if it's something that you want to do. That's where I would start. But if it's in your heart, you're going to need a caring heart to do that job. I'm not cut out for it. That's just not my calling. But you will need a caring heart and a true love for people if that is what you're going to do. And I can talk to you more off camera if you want to. You know, if you have any other questions or if you want to ask them, I'll do my best.
Sharon, the people on camera, they want to hear the advice you're giving her because they might be going through what she's going through. So feel free to give it to her.
Okay, well, that was pretty much it. In her area, I was going to see if I could research for her and find out some contact information for her to call once I got back to work and do a little digging for her. And then I'll give her the names and some contact information for her to call to speak to the people in her local area.
I know social workers here.
Okay.
And I've researched, I actually had to do internships. So, you just don't get a degree. You actually have to do field placement work.
Right.
So I did over, 800 hours of, I used to work in a battered women's shelter. I did that. I worked for DDSN, the Department of Disability and Special Needs Board. I know people that work at social services. And no, I don't want to go that route at all. It has to be something else to me, definitely, because is you overwork and you're not really making an impact on people because there is not enough help. And I know these things. I know that firsthand. I've seen how they putting kids in hotels instead of placing them where they need to be at, and a shortage of money, and they distributing it to the areas that they feel is more deserving than others. Not trying to make it a racial thing, But we all know these things. So no, it's not that aspect of it. It was a story. I was telling them too about how I spoke with my nephew's girlfriend, and my daughter witnessed that, and she was all like, "Mom, you doing it wrong. You definitely, you're really good at what you do." Even when me, Emerson, and Tans went out to eat and was talking, they was like, "Yo, you're really good at what you do." But it's not about that. It's just that it's the avenue, the steps. I don't know if my heart is into it like that anymore. So I'm just kind of lost at what I should be doing, or what I.
Well, maybe you ought to look into counseling, getting a counseling degree or something like that.
Let me ask you
mentorship.
Send me back to school.
No, Audrey, no, not to school. We're talking about someone to sit to try and help you work out your thoughts. You know what I mean? Because do you know where your desire might have started to waver at? Let's look back.
Exactly.
Where did it begin to you?
It began when you say, "Yo, you don't want to give somebody's advice and it put them in a worse position than what they already in." You don't want to be that person that made a suggestion and it didn't work. I don't know if I can handle that.
You don't know if you can handle it.
That's what you're saying.
That's what you said. That's what she
Yeah, I
said.
understand what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be the person that said, "Yo, this is the route you should take." Go ahead, Norma. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Norma.
Oh wait, I think Hassan was going to say something.
Go ahead, Hassan. I don't know who's first.
Oh no, go ahead, Norma. You can speak. I'll piggyback off you.
Okay, what I was going to say is that, you know, sometimes we have so much, we beat ourselves so much. We're so hard on ourselves that we think that when God gives us something, it appears to be bigger than us. It appears to be greater than something that we could imagine, you know. So every time it appears to me that you talk yourself out of everything before you even give it a chance. Like, God doesn't put desires in us without them having purpose. And I think that when you do something and people say, wow, you do that very well, that's a gift that God has given you. You have to utilize that gift. And I think you're not utilizing that gift because you look at yourself and don't think, I'm worthy to do this thing that God has entrusted to me. But I think that you need to start looking at yourself and say, okay, God, if you gave this to me, what am I supposed to do with it? Because it keeps coming back up. Nothing just happens by chance in our lives. Anything that happens, it's for a specific reason. I think you need to start looking at what it is that God has given you and outside of yourself and say, okay, if this is what I'm supposed to do, then tell me how I'm supposed to do it. And God is going to direct your path.
Well, you know, it sounds like to me that you suffering not and first of all, everything is based on your intent. Let me say that. So when we dealing with God, we asking God for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? You would say, what's your personal intention for that purpose? Are you doing it for views, or are you doing it for to be known? Or are you doing it because you really want to serve God, and that's the things of your heart? Now the thing about it is, I think you're suffering for social service burnout. And what happens is that's because the program and the bureaucracy. I worked in social service for years, and shows like this do more to help young people than actually the program in itself. Because the program is basically about numbers. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that the people that attend these programs, they start figuring out that it's about numbers. And then the service is not ongoing. And what happens is we have to understand, what is social work? What is LSMSW? LSMSW teaches you how to talk to someone from poverty or urban community without pissing them off. That's basically what it is. You know what I mean? We could put all kind of dressings on it all we want, but it's basically teaching you how to go in there and extract information from people who are recalcitrant, from people who less a chance to want to give it to you. So what happens is, what we talking about when we helping people, we talking about our ministry. And your ministry, you're practicing your ministry, whatever you're doing. When you keep speaking to people outside, when you're speaking to people, whatever, that's your ministry, that's your social service work. Speak from what you know. Because a lot of times, you know, we'll get directors and they'll tell us, well, send them over here. You get them this service. And then what happens is, you know, you'll send someone to over there and they'll, you know what, and you'll see that they're worse off than before when they left you. So what happens is that, you know what I've done is I've taken my social service, I take it to the streets everywhere I go, everything that I do. Everything that I do is to uplift and edify my community and anybody that I come in contact with. So you know what? That doesn't have a dollar amount to it. That doesn't say a dollar amount to it, but that's how I like to exercise my time. So what happens is that yes, we have to sustain ourselves through employment. But in your endeavors, is you're affecting people that you don't even understand. The same way brothers like me and Unique affected people by, even when they see us by our lifestyle, by what we were caught up in. It's the same way now you can affect people by, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing. So when people see you going to work, this young girl seeing you going to work every day and saying, I want to be like her. So what happens is that, you know, a lot of the seeds that we're planting, we don't know that we're planting them around, because what happens is that it's not about, and so we're dealing with God, it's not about actually being there when it grows. It's about planting the seed. I talk to a lot of young people, and a lot of young people, you know, they might not seem like they're receiving it right then. but it's back there, and they'll come back and tell me, yo, you know, Haas or whatever they may call me. They'll say, you know what? I'm glad you gave me that jewel. I'm glad you gave me that. And it's the passion. It's the passion, you know what I mean? And when it's your passion, you know, and some of these things you can't do at work because work is the bureaucracy. You know what I mean? Some of these things you can't say at work. And so what happens is it almost have you in a psychotic mode because you got to play a role. You got to play a role. You got to play a role here. And then, you know what I'm saying? But you really and then the irony of it is this, that many of us who work the social service, the people that we service are the same people in our personal lives. You know what I mean? So we telling people how to get yourself together in, you know, in a desk every day, all day. But now in your personal life, you still dealing with people who got the same exact issues. You know what I mean? So what happens is that I found this working in social service for so many years that one of the main problems is that our community has lacked spirituality. You know, although I didn't grow up in the church, but I always grew up to respect God. You know, and that's what eventually led me back to it. You know, just like what the sister said, she said Hebrews 11:1 about faith not being seen. You know, I understand it. You know, I'm taking it. I changed me. You know what I mean? We want to change to help other people. But I realized that if I want to help other people, the best way to help other people is to change myself.
Exactly.
You know, when brothers come back to me and they say, Hassan, you still talking that Malcolm X stuff? Yup. You know what I mean? Because that's how they label it. You know what I mean? It has not changed. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I made the change, and that's what I mean, since about exercising my faith. Ever since it's been ups and downs, highs and lows, but God has still got me. God's got me sitting here talking to y'all. And this is more powerful. This is more important because it's us. It's not an illusion. It's not a facade. It's genuine passion. When you got genuine passion and people really want to help their community, you can't stop. What God got for somebody, you can't stop it. For Isaiah 54:17 says, no weapon formed me against you shall prosper. So you may see things that are formed against you. You may see things that might come up and, you know, it might seem like, yo, it's be bad, but hold your faith. It's just like in the street. You know what I'm saying? If somebody pull a gun out on you, you might see a guy with a gun on you. That don't mean he got the heart to use it. You know what I mean? It's all about how you gonna react in the moment. You know what I mean? I got to go pull a gun on me. The next thing you know was both our gun. So you know what I'm saying? And see what happens is that that's what we have to relate. When we talking about the Bible, when we talk about the Bible and stuff, we gotta understand there's a bunch of convicts in the Bible. Moses killed somebody, went on a run. Joseph was in jail. Daniel was in jail. Elijah was in jail. Paul was in jail. Paul stayed in and out of jail. He was a predicate. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, you know what? You know, we got to understand that, you know, the very people that we, you know what I'm saying? The very people that, you know, that we fear, they have the ability to change. The Bible says that all of us can be changed. So what happens is, what the problem is in Hosea 4:6, it says, my people suffer from lack of knowledge.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
My people suffer from lack of knowledge. And what happens is that, you know, we more profess about getting inside this club or this group or this church when it's all about making sure that you have that individual relationship with God. God starts in your mind. Even right now, if I'm talking to you, and you know what I'm saying, anybody who's looking for inspiration, it first has to start their mind and say, I want to accept this message. This is something that I can use. I can use this to better myself. So it first starts in the mind. And what happens is that in our environments, we separated psychology and spirituality. But what happens is when you break down the word psychology, it comes from the Greek word psych. And the Greek word for psych means soul. So what happens is that many of us, you know what I'm saying, we're going to see PhDs and LSMSWs and all these acronyms behind people's names that, you know, that's there for billing, that's there for auditing purposes. You know what I mean? When the audits come, you know, that's what it's there for, but they're not really qualified to speak on the problems in our community. It was more the big mamas, the mama Bucci's that raised me, the Mamie Grimes that made me. Those are more the people who gave me more of a foundation. You know, when I went to college and I got to college, I started saying, yo, they saying the same thing. I just heard it another way. Like I used to live in I'm from Harlem. I used to live in Brownsville. So in Brownsville, they greet each other, yo, you to the good? You know what I mean? That's how they greet each other. In Harlem, we say, yo, you all right? You know what I mean? So boom, it means exactly the same thing. It has this, it's two different word choices. But I mean, it depends on demographic where you are. So what happens is over here they spoke this way, over there they spoke this way, but it meant exactly the same thing. So we have to start. It's a ubiquitous. It means universal. You know what I mean? So we have to start using God and using Him in our everyday nature and understand that, you know what, once our intentions are righteous, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then, you know, so as long as our intentions are on that, then we're good. Once we start dealing with jealousy, envy, greed, and anger, and then that's when we're dealing with the devil. So when you want to differentiate those voices, it says, what's my motivation? Is it knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and righteousness, and truth, and love? Or is it jealousy, envy, and greed, and the latter? So what happens is this is how you're able to make the balance, because you're going to come up with these choices each and every day, to each and every moment in your life. So what happens is, how do you use this stuff? Because one thing about knowing something, if you know something, you can't say it just like that so people can get it, you don't know it good enough.
Exactly. Okay, let's pivot to something else. What do you think about temptation and the strength it takes to fight temptation? You know, meaning, you know, we see a girl that we know ain't no good for us, or you, ladies, you see a guy you know is no good for you, but then you still go at it anyway. You know what I mean? Meaning a bad boy, meaning the unique. You know what I mean? What an old, you know what I mean? And you know, your desire, you know, to deal with that temptation, because there's a lot of temptation out here, and we get tempted by the flesh. You know what I mean? And by, you know, falling victim to our lower desires. You know, what do y'all ladies feel about that, and how would you, or what would you tell the younger, you know, women? Let's start with Tangier. Tangier, how do you feel about fighting your desires?
Start with somebody else. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts on the question.
So we're dealing with temptation, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with the temptation. How you feel that, Haas, you want to speak?
Well, fasting. Fasting is how you deal with temptation. I fast. I often fast, and people, you know, so that, you know, if people are eating, I won't eat. You know, it's just so that, you know, I can resist temptation or other things. You know what I mean? Fasting teaches the mind. You know what I'm saying? Say, you know what? I don't have to be a part of that. I don't have to get involved with that. So that's part of the ways where we teach temptation, elevation with knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Elevating your knowledge and understanding, you know, the gamut of what you're getting yourself involved with is how you resist temptation. You know, but I recommend fasting, you know, because what happens is, but we're not fasting, you know, just to get slim. We fast, you know, because temptation is going to come at us on any different moment at any given time.
Okay, let's take this a little deeper. When the good brother Hassan is saying fasting, he's not just talking about the foods you put in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the mental and spiritual food that you put in you as well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If you porno tapes and what's that, Instagram, and you know what I mean, and meet this person.com site or whatever, you know what I mean? That's where our mentality is going to be at. So you have to fast to refrain from putting the negative in and put the positive in to bring out the positive, get the positive thoughts rolling. You know what I mean?
Right.
I need to add something.
Yeah.
There's times in my spiritual journey as I've gotten to here, it's been times in my life where I didn't fornicate. You know, I felt that was the fast. You know what? I didn't fornicate for 2 years. I didn't fornicate for a year. This was on the street. This ain't in prison. You know what I mean? So what happens is that, you know what? But when we talk about resisting temptation, resisting all temptation. Because what happens is we pick and choose, you know, the temptation we want to resist. But what's going to send you down the wrong road? What's going to alter your life? And those are the temptations that you need to resist. Just like the brother said the other night, if I know my people's involved with certain things, I avoid even knowing what they're doing, or sometimes I might avoid them. That's fasting. Sometimes you got to fast from people, you know?
Yeah.
So.
And that's what I wanted to touch on when you said fasting, so they understand fasting don't just mean, you know, don't eat and don't drink no water. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Fast from refraining from listening to music. You know what I mean? Cut down on the times you listen to it. Fast from your evil thoughts in your mind, with your negative thoughts. You know what I mean? Of wishing you get the job and the next person don't because you need it more. But you don't know the next person any more than what it is. You know what I mean? But you know, and fast from gossip, thinking that's a lot of things that lead to a lot of negative. You know what I mean? Nita, let's get situated, sis. All right. No, because the camera moving all over the place. I'm trying to watch you and can't get my thoughts right. Yeah, take your time, man. I'm here with you. Yeah, get Audrey.
Well, I have a question. Do men Christian women different than others? Will they approach them the same as someone that is maybe less in their faith?
Repeat that again. I couldn't hear nothing you said. The mic was a little messed up. It's not you. What did you say?
I said, do men treat Christian women different than someone with less faith? Do they approach them the same?
Do men treat Christian women different, you said?
Yes. Do
Yes,
men
and they will,
approach?
like, they approach them.
Somebody explain what she's trying to say.
Do men approach a woman who has a spiritual background different from someone who they feel like is in the world? Let's just say, is there a different approach that comes from, let's just say, from a person? Because we as women might approach a man that's in the world and church on a different level, is what she's saying. Do you find that people approach you differently because you have a spiritual background?
I mean,
Let me answer. No, I don't think so.
You don't think what?
I don't think that men approach us differently because we're Christian women. I think they approach us the same way they approach a person in a world. I don't think so.
Why do you say that? Why do you think that?
Good. I just don't think that. I think that they just approach us the same way. I just don't.
Yeah. Okay. I hear you, sis, but I have to beg to differ for that. You know what I mean? I'm doing a live show, homie. I have to beg to differ for that answer.
Okay.
For the simple fact that me back in the days when I was in my playtime, I'm an old man now. When I was in my playtime, when I see a female, I approach a female the same way I'd approach a robbery or a drug deal. You know what I mean? Now, I say that to say, so maybe the people out there can understand the different avenues of approaching it. You know what I mean? But I say that to say that when we see something, we look at it and we say, okay, man, look at her. If I go up, if I talk to her, what would she say? What does she look like? She would be into. You know what I mean? What conversation, what line can I use? We analyze these things before we make a move. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same way, like before you do a robbery. You know what I mean? Do they got a security guard? Does he have a gun? Is he a toy cop? You know what I mean? Before you do a drug deal. You know what I mean? Can I trust these dudes? Meaning we analyze things before we make a move, man. So before a man go to a woman, he don't know you're a Christian woman until you open your mouth and you tell him. So when you approach you, he's just going to approach you. But if you open your mouth and you respond back with something saying, praise the Lord or whatever, now a real player is going to back that up, switch that up, and play the game how it need to be played to give you the Lord conversation to get what he need to get accomplished if he's just trying to play. But if he's seriously looking for a woman and he's not into a Christian woman, he'll say, well, sis, I'm not really into all that, gospel stuff that I don't really do the church. And I don't think we'll make a good team because I'm just trying to do me. You know what I mean? And you want to take me somewhere I'm not ready to go right now at the time of my life or whatever. You know what I mean? But like I said, moral of the story, they're going to come at you differently. You know what I mean? Once you open your mouth. You don't know a fool until he opens his mouth.
That's true.
You don't know a fool until he opens his mouth. Now, I might drop back, talk about the 80s and how it was back then and talk all that crazy talk because that's how it was back then. You understand what I'm saying? And
right.
I want them to understand that there's still guys with that mentality today. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning, if I'm walking down the street and I'm in my player mode back in the day and I see a young lady and she's wearing a big pleated skirt that looked like what the Jehovah's Witness children would wear on Sundays. Oh, man, I want her. I know she's a cold. We on Christian talk. But this ain't Christian talk. This grown up gospel talk. So I'm speaking the truth of gospel. In my mind, I'm thinking she's free. Her mom keeping in the house, keeping her going out, knocking on doors every day. She can't really get to move and do what she want to do. So I know she hot and bothered. You know what I mean? That's where the crazy mentality comes from the youth that's out there that don't have, you know what I mean, the guidance that they need to understand that everyone is not chasing their lower desires like you are. You know what I mean? And that's where, you know, the young man or woman would get angry because the next person is not receptive to what they're saying. You understand what I'm saying? Meaning they push up on them and they like, yo, come on, dog. You sound stupid. I'm not into that dumb crap you into. You know what I mean? Now, me, I'm comfortable, so I'm like, yeah, well, you know, you're lost. You know, we could have had a good time. You know, joked it off, kept moving. But some dudes might want to get the gun, shoot up the place, or smack the chick up, or whatever. So you got to be careful how you respond to certain clowns too, but still be yourself and still hold on to your self dignity. You know what I mean? And you know, that's really where that's at. But Lamisha said a man might be crying out for spirituality and could be calling out by approaching that particular woman. Exactly. It could go either way, but you won't know until the mouth is open, till the conversation comes out. You know what I'm saying? Meaning if I meet a female and I'm trying to talk to her, and she tells me that, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm a Christian. I go to Bible study twice a week, and you know what I mean, and I go to church on Sundays, and I help out at the church, and and she tells me all that. If I'm not interested in all that, I'm gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? But I might be in the mood for a spiritual challenge, a Christian challenge, to see if I can crack that. You know what I mean? But that's just how men are for the younger people looking. That's where the mentality goes sometimes. But now at my age, I'd be like, okay, well, she's stable, and she, you know, and she has balance in her life, so I can deal with her, even if it don't go sexual, as a friend that would be good to have in my immediate circle to be around to uplift me, to keep me on a spiritual path. So you don't have to, you want her just to have sex with her. That might be what you thought when you first looked at her lips. You know what I mean? But it might be the words coming out of her mouth. You know what I mean? It might be intelligent. Say, man, that's some good food for thought that I could really, you know, get into being around this woman, because I like what she's saying, because it's not like the regular girls that I deal with be saying. Anybody else want to feed into that? If not, give me another topic. Y'all pick another topic. Keep it moving. Pick a topic. Go ahead, Sharon. I like the smile. You must be ready. You got a topic? Give me a question.
I have a topic.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's hear it. Yes, go ahead, Anita. Anita says she has a topic. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to know about grown children moving back into your home.
Why don't you sit still, baby, please?
I have to move.
Then let someone else ask a question until you're ready. Okay. I can't focus on that because your mic is shooting all over and I can't hear you. Then I'm going to have to tell you to repeat it again anyway. Yeah, what is your question? Sorry. You said something about grown folks in the house, grown children in the house.
Yes. My question is, hold on, sorry. What do you think about grown children moving back into your home?
If they need your help, of course you let them back in your home. That's a crazy question. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a crazy question.
Hold on. Let me finish the whole question.
There you go.
And then me being a Christian, right? The thing that I don't agree with, that's where the problem comes in at.
Oh no, then they can't come in the house. If they're not going under your rules, you paying the bills, and you the mother, even if you're not the mother. If you paying the bills and somebody coming in your house, they better go by your rules. That don't mean they have to be by your religion, but they have to go by your rules. If that means coming in a certain time, being quiet a certain time while you're praying, while you're making studies, salat, whatever you're doing, then by all means they must do that, or they can't come in your house, even if it's your child, because it's your house and you shouldn't disrupt your peace and your sanity. You know what I mean? And your spirituality to go into someone else's foolery. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. But it's just a little deeper than that. It's just like, it's okay.
We won't know unless I'm here. How is it deeper than that? We're going to let you go, Audrey, and then Hassan going to go. I'm trying to get her to fully say what she's saying, so maybe we can help guide her a little bit.
I know what you're talking about. I kind of know what you're talking about. You should have to conform.
We split everything.
You should have everything.
I know. Hold on, Audrey. She was going to say something. You know what she's talking about, so you go ahead, Audrey. And then Anita, you can pick back up. Maybe Audrey answer some of your questions she's getting ready to say. Go ahead,
I thought she stopped. I'm sorry.
Huh? No, go ahead.
Okay. What I was saying is, you shouldn't have to conform in your own home. I don't care if you split the bills with someone or not. That's your home. You should be able to be comfortable in your home. Like I was telling you, that's your sanctuary. You shouldn't have to, be recluse in your room because of someone doing things that you don't like them doing in your home. I don't think that's right. Grown or not grown, kid or no kid, that's not fair to you. Okay.
Go ahead, Anita.
Yeah.
Audrey said what she wanted to contribute.
Yeah, I heard her that. I mean, I get that. It's just exactly what she said is what's happening. Like, for instance, it is a fact. Okay, they think that because they're, paying half the bills or whatever, that they have a right to do certain things in your home, and they just don't understand that. And it's not that easy, like you said, to just say, "Oh, now you have to go because you're not abiding by my rules." You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy, but it's hard.
I fully understand that, but I want you to understand that you must stand firm in your belief. You know what I mean? Where you stand as a woman and as that homeowner. That's your home. End the story. You know what I mean? So whether you're dealing with your child, a friend, or whoever, when they come in your home, they must abide by your rules.
Amen.
Then you don't need them in your home or in your life. You know what I mean? Because go ahead, Norma.
I think what happens is that we make compromises. The moment you compromise one thing, it's gonna keep snowballing. The thing is that I think we don't set up guidelines for people to respect our boundaries. So you're an adult, you need to move back home with me, and I get that. I'm your mother, I love you, I don't want you in the street. You can come back. However, these are the rules. The rules is you're gonna pay a certain amount of money towards the bills. You're gonna do certain things in my home, and they're gonna be A, B, C, D. And the moment you don't do that, then I think the best thing for you to do is to find something on your own. Like, we got to be real clear about what it is that we want and stick to it. You know what I'm saying? We can't deviate from it, because the moment you deviate from it, now they have an outlet. Then now they have an excuse. I know even for myself, one of the things my kids say to me is, but grandma, like, I don't babysit. I'm the grandmother. I don't babysit. And one of the things that my children tell me is that, but grandma helped you with us. So why can't you do the same thing? Because that's not what I do. So mommy made her choices to help me. And as your mother, I'm making a choice to not help you. Why? Because I think it's important for you to understand that those are the choices that you made, and you got to abide by your choices. You can't make your choices my choices. And we can't allow our children to make our choices, allow their choices to become our choices. I think that's what happens sometimes.
I just want to say this, like, I used to be like, this hard person, period. Like, before certain things in my life changed for me, right? So now, like, people look at me like, well, why can't you say to that, to that child, like, this is things I don't like. But when you've been through some stuff in your life where that you just feel like you need people to, like, even like when you're not good, you just need somebody here. So, like, if you said you don't like certain things in your home now, that person is now, like, angry at you because now I've said to her, like, no, I'm not accepting this. If you can't abide by my rules, you have to leave. Now, when I'm not good, now I feel like I'm alone. And that's the problem that I have. And that's one of the reasons why I don't say anything to certain things that happen in my house. That's where I'm at now.
Well, I think Hassan want to say something. Go ahead.
What you're experiencing is what many people experience. Is called arrested development. And that's when children that's when children come back into the home.
Elaborate, big brother. Elaborate. Give us the jewels.
Oh no, that's when children come back into the home. That's when the economic climate is so strenuous that the children have to come back home because they can't afford to pay the bills on their own. You know what I mean? That's across cultures. You know what I mean? That's just not with the African American culture. That's across cultures in the United States. So, but what happens is the situation arises where it goes back to what Unique said at the very beginning. Do we have the proper respect for our elders? You know what I mean? Are we teaching our children the proper respect for our elders? Because what happens is that, you know, culturally, we're starting to see that, you know, many of the children don't have the proper respect for us. Because one of the reasons why, because it's hard for them to differentiate our age group. Many of, even although we're middle age, we still look in the same ages that we did when we're younger. So what happens is, you know, the kids still look at us like we're children. But what happens is that, you know, we're in a situation where they don't have the proper respect. You know, there's certain things that, you know, regardless of who it is, you know what I'm saying, especially as an elder, especially us coming up as younger, you know, there's certain things that we wouldn't do. But that we've lacked that as a culture. Our culture has changed. And being our culture has changed, that's why many things they feel uncomfortable for us. So we have to understand that, you know, it's the changing of our culture. And, you know, many of our children, we see them in the community. Many of them are antisocial. You post them anything. You try to say, you can't even compliment, say you got a nice outfit on or something like that. So many of them are antisocial. So we know what I'm saying. These are some of the things that we're battling. And, you know, when it happens, unfortunately, you know, it is our children. We have to, you know, that's why we have to try to find some remedies, some solutions.
Good answer. But now, Haas, they got a question on the screen for you. I don't know if you can see it or not, so I'm going to try and read it. It says, may I ask Haas his opinion on religion versus spirituality? Do you think that religion was made to keep man in order? Why?
Well, religion was created to religion, and first of all, spirituality originally comes from nature. You know, there's a man named Baruch. Well, prior to we have the European Baruch Spinoza, who made this thing called pantheism. All right, but when we look back to Egyptian culture, you know, we realize that they have gods for the sky, they had gods for air, they had gods for all these different variations of nature. So what happens is that, you know, religion became a way of repeating it to the next generation about, you know, the modality of how to connect with the higher power. So what happens is that that's what created religion. Religion was created so that, you know what, we had a measure. We have a reference point. Religion was created for a reference point to understand nature, and the nature around us and the nature in ourselves. Well, in that process, you know, which is also spirituality. In that process, you know, it has been manipulated. You know, many people don't like Christianity because they say it's, you know, the white man's Bible. But what happens is, if you read the Bible, if you read the King James version of the Bible, you will see that Ethiopia is written in the Bible 36 times. Ethiopia is written, starting with Genesis 2:13. So what happens is, so when we start getting inside the Bible, and we can start getting inside the Bible, you start realizing that, you know, that this story has, it's a black story. You know what I mean? It's a black story. It just was written by white people. You know what I mean? You know, when you talk about the children of Israel and many of these other things. So, but what happens is that the spirituality is inside you. Religion is how you exercise it. You know what I mean? You are the spirit. You know what I mean? Each religious system says that God's spirit is inside of you. You know, the Hindus say that God is the ocean, you're a drop of water. You know, so what happens is that, you know, you're a small component of what God is. You know, in the Bible, in Job, it says God put breath in your body. You know what I mean? So what happens is it's through God that, you know, that we make this connection. Now, religion is how we exercise it. Religion is how we manifest it. But in terms of a public aspect, but the spiritual component is each and every one of us. We, you know what I'm saying, we manifest it in our behaviors, in our deeds, in our actions.
Okay, good answer. But now, the sister says something up here I want to speak on. Where's she at? Tamika. She said, I agree with Haas. Respect for, put that up there. We're going to get back to Ernesto's joint in a minute. Tamika's joint. I agree with Haas. Respect for the elders are at a long time low. Some of the elders are acting like children. It's horrible. Now, my opinion, my assessment on that is because time waits for no one. You know what I mean? Time waits for no one is my answer to that. where the elders act like children. You know what I mean? And while the children is not respecting the elders. During the crack era of the 80s, you know, into the 90s, we lost a lot. Those mandatory minimums and those draconian laws, when our communities went to the government and said, help us. Our children are hooked on crack. Our children are robbing us. Our children are doing all of this. You know what I mean? They went to the government to expect the government to play parent. You know what I mean? When we needed to parent our children. You understand what I'm saying? But we reach out to the government to parent our children. You know what I mean? Do you really think they have our children's best interest as much as we do? So our people went to the government to say, hey, help us. You know what I mean? To someone that only sees us as a means. You know what I mean? A means to make a dollar and a means to get work done that they don't want their children to do. You know what I mean? Now, with all of that coming forth, as far as with that, when we went to jail, take responsibility for where I went. I broke the law. I let my community down and myself down and everyone else. But when I went to jail, I wasn't there for my children. I'm one man. You know, let's have 6 children, 7 children. You know what I mean? You on the street, you hustling, and we ain't gonna get into how many kids a person have and all that. I'm just using this as a hypothetical. You know, majority of the people on the street, if they're hustling, they're selling drugs, they got at least 1 or 2 kids, at least. And that's a low number to keep it low. You understand what I'm saying? So now we go to jail and you take 1 million men and each one have 2. That's 3 million of our kids that don't have that father, you know what I'm saying, that uncle, that brother, and then other family members trickle into that. So there's no one to guide the babies. And then the ones that's left behind that has not broken the law, they did not pick up the slack to be the men they were supposed to be. So while I'm doing my 26 years fighting to get back out and not out there to help my children, to help guide my children from my choices again, because you got haters that are jumping in, oh, you made the mistake. Yes, I did. And I take responsibility for it. And that's why I'm having this show now, to try and give back something to the people that watch it. But from the people sitting there, I'm doing 26 to get out, and they're doing 26 out there, that they're taking the same thing as they take a partner in a relationship for. Because I speak on this on Grown Folks Talk, for granted. They're taking their free time, their freedom for granted. Instead of taking that free time to better themselves so that they could better their children, their family, their community, and everything around them, they said, man, I'm just going to go to work and worry about coming home, get me my 6-pack of Band Watch, Power on Sunday nights, and Empire on Wednesday, Amityville Horror on Tuesday, and the basketball, football on Sunday. And they got their whole day planned out to do nothing. You know what I mean? Because that's nothing. You know what I mean? So you have to remember, it is written that as our elders become elderly, they will revert back to a child before they leave us. That's what that movie that they gave us called Benjamin Button was about. If you didn't see that movie, y'all need to go watch Benjamin Button with Brad Pitt, where he started off as an old man, like 100 years old, bent over, couldn't stand up. And as time went on, he got younger doing the movie till he went back to being a child. When everybody else he was dealing with that he was loving was getting older and going to die, he was getting younger. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where we at, that by the adults, the elderly revert back to children. And that's where we come in as caretakers, to give back what they gave us. Because our elderly is the ones that took care of us when we was younger. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. I mean, exactly. So on the strength of that, I'm saying that we have to first, you know what I mean, we have to better ourselves, man. When we, you know, we can't blame everyone, because only person to blame is yourself. But we have to start with ourselves. What are you doing to better the situation and the circumstances of your household? We're not going to get into your community as yet. What are you doing to better the situation of your household? Like Anita said, Anita sounds like a beautiful, caring person, because she's even contemplating, you know, letting someone in the house to disrupt the house. But bottom line is, my rule is going to be, you come in my house, you know what I mean? you're going to have to play by my rules. And these are my rules at the beginning. You understand what I'm saying? And my man Bobby, I was chilling with my man Bobby Taft the other day, and Bobby said something that kept saying something that resonated with me. My man Bobby said, man, I do me, meaning him, whatever he chooses to do to make a dollar, because he know that ain't nobody gonna let him come crash on their couch when he need help. So he have to make sure that he's functioning. You know what I mean? But you have so many people that say, well, if something go wrong, I go lay up on Anita couch. I go back home to mom. You know what I mean? You got all these other back steps instead of forward steps. Instead of saying, like me, since I've been home, my whole thing is, first money I get, I'm going to go get mom Dukes, go buy her little island somewhere, or a little house in the island, whatever mom wants, we're going to get mom's a roof over her head what she wants. That's my priority. You know what I mean? For my choice. And I don't care what woman mad at me or whoever, moms come first. Period. We had this conversation with my sister Lily from SWV, and they talk about a man, and I'm letting her defend herself to come back and defend this. But we had this conversation on the grown folks talk where she was saying that if her husband mother needs some money, then he needs to ask her, or they need to discuss it together as a unit. Makes sense in the fairy tale world, but my mama needs some money. I don't need to check with no female if I got to give my mama some money. End of story. So if you just mad at that, you mad at that. You know what I mean? Moms is on a whole nother plateau. Go ahead, Anita. Go ahead, I'm waiting. You mute your mic.
Wait, I need Norma to elaborate on that.
Go ahead, you can elaborate on it.
No, I want her to elaborate.
Oh, I think she wants me to elaborate. No, I think she wants me to elaborate on that because that's one of the things that I have major issues with. Because, and I'm speaking from the perspective of marriage and relationships. If me and you are married, anything that happens in our home is between you and I. Anything that comes exterior of our home, we need to talk about it. It doesn't matter who it is because because what I believe is at the point of us coming together, the man should leave and cleave. So now it is me and you that are one. So there is no decision that you're making that's really outside of me because my heart is with you. So no matter what it is that you're wanting to do, it should be okay. Why? Because we're like-minded, we're equally yoked. Yeah. But I don't believe in allowing my husband to go outside of the home to take care or do anything for anybody before me, his wife.
Okay, but listen. I got something that I say on Friday nights, and I know this is a gospel show, it's not a Christian show, so I'm gonna say it anyway. That's a bunch of crap. End of story. That's a bunch of crap. Let me finish.
That's your no, that's not. That's you. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead, finish.
I didn't tell you I feel it's a bunch of crap, and you ready to defend your stance.
Oh, I thought you was finished. Go ahead, finish.
No, I begun.
Please finish, Ma. Go ahead, let him finish, please, because he's all the way on the wrong track. But okay.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Who that? All right. But anyway, bottom line is, y'all the women speaking. Me, I'm a mama's boy. I was raised, my mama come first. I don't need to discuss what I'm doing for my mama with nobody but God. You understand what I'm saying?
But listen from this perspective. From this perspective.
One second, man. Let me fill Sharon in so she could come in and help you out because you might need some help. Now,
I'm with my guns fully loaded. I'm ready.
All right, well, keep it cocked. All right, because I got extra clips. And I got Hassan with me for backup. Hold up.
Look at him.
So what we dealing with is she said, you tell her that crap you just said. I don't even want to repeat that.
No.
What she said was that he said he doesn't need to ask his wife anything when it comes to giving money to his mother, because when it comes to his mother, nobody comes before his mother. So he doesn't have to consult with his wife about giving his mother money, because if she needs something, he's going to do it regardless. And if his wife was mad about that, she would just have to be mad.
End the story. My mom carried me for 9 months, pushed the 2 titties together to squeeze milk out of it because she had 6 of us back to back to feed us because we had no food in Jamaica. How could I tell this woman no for anything she asked for?
Yes.
How can I tell this woman no behind another female when she sacrificed like that?
Okay, wait. So let's
I don't know how you new
no,
generation
let's
women,
break this down. Let's
intelligent
break
women,
this down. Let's
and
break
Yeah,
this
I want
down.
to say something
treat our
too. Where
mothers.
I want to
But
say,
I would never abandon my mother for
I
no
want
reason.
to say
Sharon, you
something
know,
though.
Let Sharon speak so she can get in the conversation.
All right, go ahead.
Sharon, what do you think? Do you know what we're talking about so we can explain it to you? Because you look a little confused.
It's breaking up a little, so I'm getting bits and pieces. But what I heard was that you would help your mother over, even though your wife may disagree about what you're trying to do. Is that right?
Period. And that's a blunt way to put it. Mama comes first. End of story. End of story.
Oh,
Whoever
I
don't
think
like
you're
it,
in error.
we know this is
I
gospel
have
talk.
to
Screw
disagree.
you.
Now, look, if you're
Listen,
helping your mother,
I raised my sons like this. And my sons, I'm going to bring them on here one day, and they all grown men in their 30s, 34, 35, 36. Now, I raised my men like this. I raised my son that no matter what, your mother come first. You know what I mean? If you had one kidney to give, one heart to give, and it's between me and your mother, you give it to your mother. Because as a man, I have to sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? From my family. You understand? So, I believe that a mother and a son's relationship is excluded from the relationship of a husband and wife.
That would be nice. That would be nice to have that kind of exception.
You know?
No. We got it. That's wait. Wait. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this because I think that that's where the breakdown in our community as a whole comes because we got to be with one mind, agreeing with what, like we was telling Nita, what's the rules? What's the guidelines? What are we basing that upon? I'm basing it upon, as we talked about in the beginning of the show, is what my faith is, what I believe in. What I believe in is what that word of God says. And if that's the Bible that I'm basing my faith upon, it says that a man should leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they should become one spirit. Now, what I do believe is that if I connect with somebody, the mindset of my husband and my mindset is going to be the same. And what I'm saying is, for the most part, if his mother needs help, my heart is his heart. So I'm going to automatically want to help his mother. That's not going to be a question because we're like-minded people. However, if there is a decision that needs to be made, whether it's your mother that's going to get the kidney or I'm going to get the kidney, I'm your wife. I come first now because that's a choice that you made to make me first.
Okay, we didn't speak. I didn't speak on you and the kidney. I spoke on the son and the mother. You know what I mean?
No. All right, so let's put it back. Let's put it back to the money. Let's put it back to the money.
Okay, get back to the.
Let's put it back to the money. Your mother calls you for money, and I'm your wife, and you're gonna pull money from where?
From my account, from my business. Ain't got nothing to do with you. And if it did have,
you already separated. You already separated. You already separated.
Can I finish? I'm giving you examples,
love.
Let's relax.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now, that's where I have my own money. Now, if I don't have my money and our money is together as a joint account, because listen, you work, I want you to put your money in your account. I will put my money in my account, and we're still going to have a joint account, but we're still going to be individuals. You know what I mean? Everything don't have to ride together in one account because we're married. You know what I mean? Yes, we're going to have money. We're going to have money, and we're going to put money in that we're going to save together for whatever we might need to do or whatever emergencies might come. But at the same time, you're working, I'm working, so I have a bank account. You have a bank account. It's not no big secret, like you're doing nothing behind my back. It's just a matter of you should be able to come to me, and I should be able to come to you and say, man, times is a little hard, or I just feel like getting my hair done, but I don't get paid till Friday. You know what I mean? Can I get $100 to get my hair done? You know what I mean? And you shouldn't have to feel no way about that. But nowadays, the way I'm seeing things, like everyone is taking it like a man is not supposed to ask a woman for finances. like that's against the law. Is the way I might be wrong. That's just the way I'd seen it. But like I said, if the money's in me and your account and my mother needs money and I don't have it, no, I wouldn't take our money out and just do that. But yes, I will let you know to give you an opportunity to know that you're part of this decision-making choice that I'm gonna make any damn way. You know what I
with our joint money or with your money you got separate?
And bottom line is our joint money, the devil joint money. If mama need it, mama getting it. End of story. I'm a mama's boy. Period. And I raised my son, I said the same way. Worry about your mother. Nobody more important than your mother. Your mother wiped your crap when you couldn't even wipe your crap before you knew how to speak crap to a dude named Unique in 2020. Respect that woman. Go ahead, Audrey.
So would a woman be wrong to tell you to go sleep with your mother when you want something from her?
Nah, because I can masturbate. I don't need no woman to do that.
Hey, we're going way.
Talk about when you be sleep with your mother. That was disrespectful, but I didn't take it that way because we're having a conversation.
I'm saying
conversation. You know what I mean?
She was laughing. Hey, what was that about?
What was that about?
Me?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Haas. Because
I'm
a mama's boy. Speak.
Chime in. I want to hear your opinion.
Yes, Haas. Go ahead, Haas.
I mean, the thing is, you said, like, when you sleep with his mother. I mean, any man, if your mother provide, whoever you provide was your grandma, whoever, it should be a joint thing. Like, I shouldn't have to. Like, I agree with him in certain respects. I feel that. He should take care of his mother. We should do that. And on the same token, I understand what the lady's saying. Talk about, but let her know. You know what I mean? But what she said, it should be something that they both want to do. You know what I mean? Exactly. If we together, if you love me, it'd be the same way, vice versa. If your mother was sick or she needed something, all right, it shouldn't be no hesitation on helping your mother. All right, so it shouldn't be no hesitation on helping moms if she need us. And being a gospel show, it says look out for the widow. It says look out for the fatherless. The Bible says that. So you know what? That should be of the utmost importance on us in the first place.
As long as it does not interfere in my household, in our household.
No, you're right. But like you said,
of course.
No.
And I think I think what happens sometimes is that that's where the water gets a little muddy because it's not real clear. And that's what I was saying. Like, I just followed what the principle says. And because I follow the principle, everything else falls in line. In order for me to be with somebody, I'm going to be with somebody that has the same heart that I have. And I think you talked about that earlier. It's the heart of the person. I'm not going to be with somebody that don't love my mother or have a love for the widows or the elderly or concerned about community, because that's who I am. So because we're on the same page, that's probably never going to be an issue for us if your mother calls for something that she needs. Why? Because we have the like-minded. I think what happens is in those situations where it's not something like a mother's situation is almost cut and dry. There is no median. If your mother needs help, of course we helping your mother. Of course we are. But I
just said it wrong because everything you said is right. Don't get it twisted. I agree. Yes. No, I agree with you, but I just want to make it emphatically clear that a mother comes first. Period.
Yes. And I think
the community is missing, that the women start to believe in that they're equal to the men and so on and so on, when you need the two to be balanced. None is above or below the next, but we move together as a unit. And as a unit, we know that our main priority is each other's mother and father. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that raised us to be who we are today and to show us where we need to go. So now as time go on and they can't work as hard or as much or whatever, you know what I mean? And they screw up. You know what I mean? That's just hard times. But go ahead.
No, you know what I think for and this is just for me, I think my main priority is my partner. And so when I make my partner happy, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one big circle. It's like there's no beginning and there's no end. You know, I'm always going to have the best interest of my partner at heart. So like doing the right thing is not even a question. You know what I'm saying? It's when there's things I think in relationships, like I'm going to use for an example. I don't want to use mother because like that's like kind of a give and take. Let's say children.
I use mother. We're talking about mother. Let's not get off of that. We're talking about mother.
No, because mother, like I said, first of all, I don't think you would be with somebody that would not want to do that, because you're not going to be with a person that's totally against that, because y'all won't bond together.
Thank
you.
Know what I'm saying? But that's the point that I'm making. As adamant as I'm standing up for my mother, if any woman don't understand the love that I have for a woman, for the love I have for my mother, then that means that they don't really understand, you know what I mean, the bond.
That's probably not the woman for you. But what I will stand on, and let's go back to our initial point. What I will stand on is a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. And I believe wholeheartedly that the wife comes first. Now, I'm going to stand on that.
Yeah, now listen, she do. Let's get it right. She do. But the mother is in another bracket, man. Your mother is listen. If I'm living with my wife and I got money and we got a joint account or whatever, and her mother needed something and she took the money to give her mother, she don't have to explain nothing to me. All she have to do is let me know that it's going to be done. Hey, babe, I got to take care of something with my mother. And that's it. So if I tell you, hey, Norma, I got to take care of something with my mother, you're supposed to understand that, and I shouldn't have to explain that.
What if it's the money to pay our mortgage?
Let me finish, because now it looks like you're just making different things to go at. Even if it's the money to pay your mortgage, we're gonna go to all of that. We're gonna make sure that we all right, but I'm gonna make sure your mother's all right. If your mother reached out to you for help, and I'm your man living with you, there's no way I would be able to sleep at night comfortably not being able to help your mother when your mother reached out to you for help. And you're my woman, and your mother's a reflection of you. Period. And you don't have to get into that, my mother broke a leg, or your mother might have did something crazy, like tricked it off on Hassan instead of doing what she's supposed to do. She wasn't no young, she tricked the money off, and now she can't pay her rent. You know what I mean? You don't have to tell me, yeah, Unique, we need to put aside a little 200 because, mom tricked it off with Hassan again. Mom and Hassan is on. You understand what I'm saying? So, but you don't make mom feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, you know that whatever mom, if you come and say, hey, moms need this, you know what I mean? I say, okay. And if my mother asks me for something and I'm living with my woman or I'm married or whatever, I'm going to say, okay, I'll make sure Norma, I'll get it to you tomorrow. That way she knows Norma is involved in the decision-making of that. But the decision is already made because that's mom's. And Norma is supposed to understand that. So I'm going to say, Norma, mom needs something. I need you to take care of it if you don't mind. You know what I mean? And right there, if she's rolling with you and she has your interest in heart, you know what I mean? Your betterment in heart, and she know your mother's your interest in your betterment. She's supposed to say, okay, babe. Or, we're a little low here, there, whatever. And then I'll be like, okay, well, we're going to be all right because I can go holler at my brother Hassan to look out for me. He's doing pretty good with his new talk show that he's doing over there with Unique. You know what I mean? And, but bottom line is moms come first, man. And all y'all are beautiful women. Go ahead, Yogi. Go ahead.
What about if it's not a need that the mother is calling for? What about if it's just... What? You can't hear me?
I can hear you. Go.
Yeah, I hear you. You said, what about if it's a need? I hear you clear.
No, what about if it's not a need? What about if it's just a want? Like, what if she just wants something, but she don't need it?
Okay, good example. So moms call me, and mom say, hey, Unique, I've been watching this talk show on YouTube, and I see this dude named Hassan. He's real cute. You know what I mean? And I like a couple of dollars, you know what I mean? So I can take him out, and I put him so I can let him feel like I got money, like I got the bag. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell mom we can get a cheaper Hassan, babe. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So no, her wants don't come. What are you, stupid? You know what I mean? You want me to give you money for Hassan? You know what I'm saying? You know you raised me to be better than that. So why would you ask me this stupid question? You better get people outside and go do what you need to do. But you know what I mean? I'm saying when your mom needs something, man. Bottom line is you got your mother sitting right there. You understand what I'm saying? So now if your mother needs some money and she come ask you for some money, you're gonna run and go tell your man that you gotta, you need permission to give your mother some money.
Well, myself and my husband, our everything that we have is separate. So like it would be coming from my own funds. Now, if it was coming from us together, I would consult with him. I would.
Okay, so y'all got the funds separate. So his mama needs money. Does he got to tell you?
She's not getting anything from me, so that's not even a question.
I can answer the question. Y'all keep defending stuff. Your mom, your boyfriend's mother needs money. You just said they have two separate accounts because the question up there was really good that I think it was NW had up there. I'm gonna put it back in a minute. You said you got your own separate accounts. So if his mother needs money, does he have to ask you? Y'all married, living in the house. Y'all said you got your own separate account. They had to fit when I said it that I got my account, she got her account until I put in the middle that then we got the joint account, which would be the business account, the financial account.
Honestly, if it wasn't going to affect me at all, no, you would not need my permission for it. Like if it's not gonna, that's just me. Like now, if you giving out money, and next week I ask you for $100 and you told me you ain't got it, now that's a problem. As long as it's not gonna affect me and what I need to do, then I don't really care what you give. That's your choice. Okay, if you want to give somebody $100, go ahead.
Let's see if I got this right, because in a way that sounds like a bunch of crap.
Go ahead.
But I'm unique. So I'm playing devil's advocate. So I'm giving y'all 88 unique with 2020 unique. So you're telling me that I got to ask you, yo, baby, you sure you're not gonna need this $100 next week? Because I need to give my mother something because she want to go tricking with her son.
No, the whole thing is that you already know what you have. You already know what your ability is to do. So if something is going to put you in financial arrest, for lack of a better term, I would not do it. That's my thing. If it's not going to affect us, you doing what you're doing, then I don't have a problem with it. But the moment that I'm asking you for,
you said he has his own account. So it's his money.
Yeah, but we still have things. We still pay everything together, though. Even though we have separate accounts, we still pay everything together. So we still have a house, we still have cars, we still have whatever.
That's understandable because no. He should never take money out of that to say I'm gonna go do for mom. But if my mom needs it and that's all we got, you better believe I'm gonna sit you down and let you know. Look, I know the bills is due, and we bop. You know what I mean? But moms need this money to take care of something because she might lose her house. You understand? So we might be pushed back and pay half the rent this month, or we'll double up on the rent next month.
Listen. What I will say is put your name and all your son's name on the list so I can let everybody I know stand clear of these three people because they is not going to give you what you need, okay? Because the mentality...
Say that again, host. Run that back. Say that again. Run it back. It sounds like you ready to pop some slick stuff right here. Let me hear this. You must think it's grown folks talk.
Listen.
Run that back to the beginning because I'm lost. Sharon, keep up with this with me. I might need your help here. She's a little young and feisty. Now, go ahead, run that to us.
If I said, listen, put your name and all your son's name on a list so that I can inform all of my single friends to steer clear of these 3, 4, 5, however many men because they don't have the mentality that we are looking for.
I'm going to have to go out and come back because I can't hear anybody.
Okay, come back in, Sharon, because I want to get on her ass about this. Excuse the language. Hold on. Now, you know that's a bunch of crap. Because I'm going to say it like this, right? First of all, I don't have to tell my sons or the other men that's on the list to stay clear of whoever. Because they already know that any woman that they get with is supposed to know that moms is in our lives. Moms is first. You understand what I'm saying? I check up on moms every Sunday. I make sure moms got food to eat, make sure everything is all right. If a woman don't respect a man that looks out for his mother of that magnitude, you know what I mean? No disrespect. I don't want you to woman. You know what I mean? You take that somewhere else. No, mom's coming first, man. End the story, mom's coming first. That's not even up for debate.
Wow.
Moms
Because
come
it's
first.
so ironic because you quote so many Bible scriptures and you have
I
so
haven't
much
spoke
faith.
one Bible scripture. Stop it. I haven't spoke not one Bible scripture.
You quoting something. You quoting something.
That's quoting from the Bible. That was Big Brother Hassan.
Well, maybe I was about to say maybe it was Hassan, but you was quoting something about faith earlier, and as a
That
whole.
wasn't from the Bible. That's just faith in a higher being. You know what I mean? A faith in the universe.
Well, then that makes sense. That makes sense because that makes sense because then that shows that why our mentalities are going to be different because we believe in different things.
No,
my
I believe
mentality
it.
is based on what I
right.
believe
I don't care who don't like it. If you don't like it, then get out my life. If you don't understand the fact that my mama come first, you got to get out my life. My mama 85. You know, God willing, she be here forever, but we know she's not. So if you can't tolerate my mom now, I definitely don't want to be with you today, tomorrow when mom passed, because that's my heart.
I hear you.
So there's no situation where your wife will come first?
No. We're going to get into all that. We're talking about your mother needing something, not wanting to go hang out with Hassan.
I'm not talking about on a personal. I'm not talking about on a personal level. I'm just saying in general, there's no situation where you would pick your wife first.
Oh, hell yeah. If my mother disrespects my wife, I'm going to pick my mother. If my mother knows to respect my wife and my household. You understand what I'm saying? So my mother is not going to be out of pocket for me to have to do anything like that. Because if she is, I'm going to check her. And she's going to love me for checking her. You understand? Because she raised me to be a man. That when she acts other than a mother or other than a woman, that she needs to be checked too, the same way my woman needs to be checked if she acts other than my wife or a woman. And that's how my mother raised me. Go ahead, Audrey.
It's just like that thing where they had that question going on social media about who sits in the front seat. Do you get in the back seat of the car, or do you make your husband's mother sit in the back seat? I would automatically get in the back seat to give that respect for my elders.
You should.
But how everybody else feel about that? You getting in the back or you getting in the front?
If what? Excuse me, what was that?
Who, me?
Yeah, what would you do? What would you do?
You asking me?
Honestly, I don't really care.
We know how you feel about it, Unique.
Okay, I just want to make sure I couldn't hear you.
Very clear on that.
Honestly, I don't really care about where somebody, like, stuff like that is so minimal to me. Like, if she want to get in the front seat, get in the front seat. Like, I don't really care. Right. But it's the things that are larger that play a bigger part for me. And like my mother said, which is what I believe, that any man that would be with somebody who doesn't feel like their wife would have the best interest of their mother at heart, I don't believe they should be together at all.
I agree with that.
But you have to know me as a person to know that I'm never gonna do anything that's gonna go against what is a need for your mother, because that's not the type of person that I am. But if we're talking about the way that it's supposed to be, the wife should come first. And that's why you should put a wife in that seat who has the same values and morals as you, because then it won't be an argument.
Yeah, let me ask you this. So what the heck are you arguing with me about now? If you agree with me, what is wrong with what I said about my mother being first?
It be sounding like I agree with you, but then you go left field.
Yes.
I put it bluntly. That way, it's no.
You put it. It comes off as being disrespectful and not understanding. It's not like, I don't care what you do. You could be bleeding from your head. If my mother needs some cereal and milk, you short. That's how you sound.
No. Because hell no, I'm gonna bandage your head. We ain't gonna go there. So we ain't gonna do that. You just taking all over the place. I'm talking about.
You gonna let me bleed out so your mother can get that cereal and milk?
I use we call it intentionally. When I said if your mother needs something, not we already separated just because she want to go have fun with Hassan driving my big BMW. No, mom, you can't do that. I'm with Hassan or anybody because I gotta ask my wife if it's all right if you could go out with Hassan with our BMW. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I make a light of it, but I'm just saying, because what I'm dealing with is the need. Everything I'm dealing with is the need. You understand what I'm saying? I'm dealing with the need. Your mother needs. When your mother, listen, man, your mother, if I meet a woman and she even mentions that her mother needs something, I'm gonna be the first one. Oh, you took care of that with your mother? Did your mother get that? You understand what I'm saying? And I had a friend when I was locked up. Give y'all a good one because y'all are ladies, so y'all might be able to understand. Y'all are new generation ladies, I see, because they raising this little new generation young lady to be, I don't know. We ain't gonna go there. But anyway,
we already agree. Like, what is all of that about? I don't understand.
No, I'm just messing with you, man. I just messing with you. Hey, and you handled yourself very well today. You didn't even need backup, even though you had mom over there holding you down, and Sharon holding you down, and Nita and Audrey. You know what I mean? The only person holding me down is the good brother Hassan, but he's still holding y'all down because he's over there agreeing with y'all too. So y'all done took my
exactly.
Man. So maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're wrong. You ever thought of that? Maybe.
Here go one of my homeboys. I ain't gonna say no name. One of my homeboys I met was raised by his mother's best friend because his mother was on crack. So she gave him to her best friend to raise from he was an infant because she was smoking crack. So the best friend didn't want her to put the baby up for adoption. So the best friend took the child in and it stayed under the mother's, name. Now, as that child grows older, the mother continued to smoke crack from infancy all the way to adulthood. Now, when the mother becomes adult, the mother cleans up and the mother wants a relationship with that young man. That young man is talking about, oh, she's a B, I don't mess with her, I don't mess with her, she ain't do this, she ain't do that, she abandoned me, she threw me here, and he got all these mommy issues. You know what I mean? But dog, you're a grown man now. You sold drugs. You know the power and grip that drugs have on a human. What makes you think your mother is any different? You understand what I'm saying? Than to fall victim if she indulged in that life or got involved with people in that life that brought her into that life. You know what I mean? She loved you enough to let her best friend raise you instead of putting you up for adoption. You know what I mean? So right now that your mother's trying to get her life together, I think you should at least hear her out and try and deal with some of your issues with her, because I'm sure she has issues and needs you as bad as you need her to. Oh, screw that B, screw that this, screw that that. I told him straight up, dog, we sellies, we living in this room together. We locked up in the shoe 23 hours a day, only go out one time a day for our rec. That 1 hour a day is not enough for you to stay away from me. I love you as a brother, but I can't live with you having these thoughts of your mother under the roof that I'm under. You understand what I'm saying? Because we're not on the same page. You know what I mean? To me, this is a serious issue. If you need some correspondence, some communication about it, I'm here to talk to you about it. But you calling your mother a B, you talking about F her, and everything coming out your mouth is crazy about your mother, when I love the ground minds walk on, and I'm beginning to love the ground other people's mother walk on. Beginning. Not all the way there yet, because there's a bunch of dumb B's out there too. But go ahead, Oz.
Well, we talk about the scriptures, and the scriptures say honor thy mother and thy father. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that
hold on. The scripture, Tangier, that's my big brother Haas quote the scripture to you. So don't give me. There you go. All right,
it's me.
Go ahead.
And it says, honor thy mother and thy father, so that thy days shall be longer. So the thing, the situation is this, that when we dealing with dealing with today's times, a lot of relationships are fickle. It's a lot of capricious, which means fickle. So some people are here today and going tomorrow. You know what I mean? Moms is never going. And so the thing about it is that now if I want to take care of my mother, or if you want to take care of your mother, then that has to be something that we both will agree on. It should be something unsaid. Now, if I'm with you and you feel it's an issue with me doing something for my mother, then then you probably not the person I need to be with. Because if it came to be the issue, if it came to be me be an issue with taking care of your mother, it wouldn't be anything said. It would be as simple as that. So that's like when you say we need to be evenly yoked, because a situation that it was your mother or somebody that's just close to you. If someone's in need and I need, just like the Bible says, if my brother needs, if my person needs, give it to them now. Don't send them away and tell them to come back. So the situation is that, if someone is in need and both of us are like-minded, we both have the same heart, then we both going to go out to whether it's our mother, someone is strange in the street, whatever it may be. So, if the person, if y'all not on the same page in terms about, how we feel in terms about being charitable, because faith without works is void. You know what I mean? You have to have works inside of it. So if you don't feel charitable, if you don't feel charity in your heart, then maybe you not might be the person with me, because I'm always going to have to deal with my mother. I'm always going to have to deal with my child. You know what I mean? So if it's something of that matter, if my pain should be your pain. If she feel that she needs something or this, that, and other, you should be just as concerned as I am. The same way I'm gonna be just as concerned as you are when it comes to your mother. Because if charity begins at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So now that we got that out,
Yeah.
go ahead, Sharon. You want to say something?
Oh, the only thing I was just going to piggyback on what Hassan said was just we have to be equally yoked. And when you're equally yoked, that would not be an issue because you're going to both be of the same mind and you're going to have the same heart for your partner's parents, mother, father, whatever. You're going to have the same heart for them. So if you giving to that your mom is not going to be a problem because we're going to love each other's parents as if they were our own. Now that comes being equally yoked and learning that from the very beginning in a dating stage. So if you can't handle that in the dating stage, there's no reason to even get married because it's going to be an issue. Then it's going to be even a larger issue when you get married because other things come in. Now you have a mortgage. Now you have cars. Now you have insurance and things like that. That's all going to be taken out of the household. And now you want to help your mother too. Fine, fine with me. If we're equally yoked and of like mind on the same page, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, we have to start looking at work as a community. We have to start understanding that a lot of people get in relationships and say, yo, this person is solely mine. You know what I mean? And I control this person, but this person, you walking with this person. You know what I mean? So if this person has separate feelings and emotions, but your feelings and emotions are connected to them. So we have to start creating some type of balance and creating some type of understanding. You know what I'm saying? And especially in situations like that, because those situations arise, and we don't have any dialogue, any communication to help us. To sift through, so, to have a rationale that help us assist us with that. So I'm just glad that, even a subject like this, that we speaking about it, because this helps us, in terms about move further and help us have a greater understanding of what our roles is as individual people and our roles is to our families and our roles is into our community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that was perfect.
The Bible says that we're supposed sorry.
No, go ahead, Sharon. Go.
Oh, I was saying the Bible says that a woman is supposed to be a help meet to her husband. She's not subservient or submissive, like that. I'm supposed to be a help meet to you, help meet your need, a help meet that thing. Like, so if you want to help your mother, then I'm going to help you meet that need to help your mother because I'm going to be a help meet and not just a, just being a woman that's there because the Bible says I'm going to be a help meet. So that's what we have to do.
Okay. Now, y'all all, no disrespect to anyone, but keeping it 100. I still think you're all full of crap. No, but y'all right about that equally yoked. But as long as y'all understand that moms come first, you know what I mean? This might be the first time that this conversation was even brought out loud verbally to a lot of people looking, or maybe even to some of y'all. You know what I mean? But this is I got you, Haas. You know what I mean? But this is a topic that needs to be implemented. Not even we know revisited for the youth, but this is a topic that needs to be communicated at the beginning of a relationship.
Yes, there you go.
You know what I mean? This should be one of the focal points of speaking on. When I meet you, what do I want? Well, what do I have to offer, or who am I?
That's it.
Because you want to know who you're dealing with. So you're gonna ask the person, tell me something about yourself. First I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm a mama's boy. I love my mama to death. Mama come first, you don't like it, screw you. But you know what I mean?
But in your defense, though, knowing that you love your mama tells me a lot about the character of who you are. Because if you love and respect your mother, that love and respect is going to travel very far to other people. And
Because,
that's what you look at.
because just like I'm telling you that first thing I'm gonna do when I get this 100 million is buy my mama a house. I'm not looking to buy me a house, and I just came out of a jail cell for 26 years. I'm not even looking to buy me a house. You know what I mean? I need to get my mama right to make sure that I'm right. I know if she's secure, I'm secure. You understand what I'm saying? And then my wife, my children, and everything else come. But
He just determined.
I'm just keep it 100. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it 100. Now I'm gonna bring y'all all, like I said y'all was full of crap just jokingly, but y'all all kind of like trying to attack the old OG. So I'm gonna bring my man John Jones up here to explain what he get, because he's been down here in the situation room, you know, like Wolf Blitzer. You know what I mean? Watching this. So I don't care if he's agreeing with me, not agreeing with me, or whatever. I just want a fresh mind and communication with this. So I'm gonna bring my big brother John up here. Big John, talk to him, baby. What you saying that this whole
Good brother.
Peace,
Good
peace,
brother.
peace, Haas. Peace to all the
Peace, good
ladies and
brother.
queens that are on today. Hold on. That's actually my mother calling me. Being that we're talking about mothers. Being that we're talking about mothers.
You don't have to answer that, brother. You don't have to check with her.
Nah. I was on the phone with her. I was on the phone with her and we got cut off. She actually tied me into her meeting. She wanted me to be in her meeting today so I can get that spiritual food along with her. I am a Christian, a sinner. But again, this platform is for everybody because I also look at things through the scales of history and realize that if we all came from Adam and Eve, the oral history has been passed on through everybody. The distortions through it also came about through mankind adding their own interpretations. As far as mothers, I agree with you, Unique. But I agree with you on this aspect because Christ.
You agree with me?
No, but I agree because I look at the script amalgamatively. You know, I don't just look at one scripture. I look at especially when you look at the Christian Greek scriptures. If you look at everything that was inside those scriptures, all he was doing was referencing people in what we call the Old Testament. And all those lessons in there are for us to learn from these imperfect people that some of us seem to put on a totem pole, like Moses did with the snake. And next thing you know, they were worshiping a snake. We have to look at all these people in the same veil that we have over our eyes. Imperfect individuals striving to live by God's teachings. We're imperfect, so we fail. So when it comes to mothers, I look at Christ. And while Christ was dying, he asked his followers, some of them were his brothers, a lot of people don't know, to watch over his mother, to take care of her while he was about to ascend back to our Father in heaven. So that's why I say to the point that you're making, yeah, if my mother needs my help, my wife should support me. Because if my wife asks me to help her mother, I'm going to support her. That's why I left the comment up there. But what if it was your mother that needed help? Would you want me to sit there and say, I'm not spending my money on your mother? No, you're going to want me to join you, to be your helper and help your mother. Or be your helper and help your brother, your sister, anybody. We're Christians. The number one thing that Christ wanted us to do was help each other. So when we get to this point that we're like, nah. Now I understand if we have bills and we have things, but you got to think my mother is 80, just like yours, fam. So all the things that she's done for me, she deserves something back. And if I got to sit there and let my cable go off to make sure that my mother's lights stay on, babe, we ain't going to have cable.
Talk to him, big brother.
We ain't going to have cable. You know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean? Because my mother means everything to me. I've lost almost everybody in my family. You know what I'm saying? All I have left is my mother. I did 12 and a half years. I lost my grandmother or both of my grandparents on both sides. I lost my father while I was in there. And now all I have is my mother. So for my wife to tell me, nah, we ain't going to make sure your mother light stays on, I might start looking at you and be like, maybe you ain't the right woman for me.
Talk to him.
Exactly.
Could I say something? Because I'm trying to figure out where the discrepancy is. I believe that was all what we said.
No, that was what I mean. I've been listening and I've been texting, and I know that a lot of people have agreed, but it was like a back and forth, and we can't put your mother first. We gotta don't put me in the front seat and all this. Now, like I said, my was a portion of honor because she brought me into this world. Without her, I wouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So amalgamatively, I'm just saying that, you know, individuals have used multiple different scriptures. You know what I'm saying? People said, in Genesis, it spoke about the fact of the first union, not a marriage, because God never used the word marriage. We created that word. You know what I mean? And you can actually study the scripture and see where it first came in. Marriage is actually a term of individuals who did not. It was actually created so that a woman would always still keep the value of the property. It was actually not something that was created by God. Marriage was never mentioned. Go back to Genesis. It was a union. He said that y'all would be together, and yes, y'all would leave your house, but he never said that you wouldn't go back. You know what I'm saying? He never said that. He didn't leave your house and never go back to your family. So I'm just saying, when we look at scripture, you know, we can't be so rough and hard with our interpretations of what they mean. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm up here. I'm willing to help anybody. I was a 5%er at one point in time. I've been all types of different things throughout my life. I've studied the Quran. I've studied the Torah. I've studied all these different things. I did 12 and a half years. And like the brother Hassan said, I used that time to study deep. I studied the original languages. That doesn't make me better than anybody on this, because I still am a sinner. And I fall short to the glory of God. You know what I mean? And I beg God for forgiveness when I do so. You know what I mean? But like the brother said, the word gospel itself just means good news. You know what I'm saying? And good news of God's kingdom. And God's kingdom is about uniting us all to be one family. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to judge any of y'all. I'm just saying that I agree with my brother Unique that if my mother needs something, I'm gonna go to my wife and say, hey, babe, mom needs something. Yeah. If my wife sits there and says, well, we ain't gonna help your mom, I'm gonna really start looking at my wife like, where's your heart at?
Unique said
that's what I'm saying.
Wife, he said he was just gonna do it.
Nah, man,
that's all I'm saying. Where's your heart at?
He
your
did
mother,
say that.
Would you want me to help her?
Listen, I said so you can feel like a part of decision making. I'm gonna let you know. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So we understand. You know, I'll be joking about a lot to keep the thing moving. But bottom line, I'm gonna be like, yo, hey, mom, I'm gonna take care of something. Cause mom need help. Send this to mom. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let you deal with mom, so moms know that you are a part of it and that you are a part of my life because I put you in me and mom's business that mom needed. You know what I mean? So by you saying, hey, mom, give me the info, so I can send that. Unique told me that you needed something, and that's it. But we spoke 30 minutes on this because I know this is a conversation that's not usually had. You know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to elaborate on it, and I brought in different, variations of it, and I joked with it a little bit, got serious with it, got direct with it, got aggressive with it, just so the people listening would have this conversation. You understand what I'm saying? Now, ladies, before we go any further, I mentioned somebody's name, and I don't like to say people's name, and they can't be here to defend themselves. This question came up with me and Lily from SWV when you know SWV, right? I mean, I know your little young guys. Lily from SWV, she brought this question up, and we were speaking on this about a mama's boy. So I'm letting y'all know now, she don't agree with none of this that I'm saying, but I mentioned her name, so I'm gonna bring her in so she can speak her piece. You know what I mean? Lily. Hey,
hello.
Lily.
Hi.
How y'all doing, Lily?
Hi.
The panel.
I could barely. What was the question, Unique?
Okay, now I'm getting ready to put it on you as soon as you sit still for a minute. You know me.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
I gotta make sure you
family time right now, so I'm multitasking.
But we need you to unique task right now.
Okay.
We don't need you multi. We just need you to unique task right now. Now,
oh, Lord.
Now, Lily. I mentioned your name earlier, so I'm gonna let you defend your stance. Where I was at, we was having a conversation about if your mother needs something, you know what I mean? Do you have to go check with your woman? And I use the word right, check with your woman. Like ask your wife permission. You know what I mean? Auntie Lily. You know what I mean? Now, hold on. I got a 25-year-old up here. Tangier, very intelligent. Leave me in on where we at. That way it's not like I'm swaying her You know what I mean? 25 and married for about 3 years now. Her mom was on the phone, Norma Bryant. So you older men, stay away from her. She's already married. I hope she don't have another daughter, because that'll be hell. But anyway, we're just dealing with one Tangier. But Lily, focus for a second. I want Tangier to tell you where we at with this, where we came up so far with this solution. With this.
Okay.
You ready? Lily, that's Tangier. Explain to Tan.
Well, you already told her the question. What do you want me to say? Like my perspective on it?
No, on our perspective, where we came at today, so she know where she might have missed out on to like cap everything up.
Yes, summarize it.
Yeah, summarize it. Where we went with it, I went far left with it, brought it in, twisted it up. Just summarize it. Or would Sharon like to do it, or someone else to acting like she knows it?
So pretty much he was saying that he if his mom needed something, that she would come first, and he would not even have to check with his wife for it. That's what I heard, but now you're saying that's not what you said. So
No, that's exactly what I said. But to appease her, you know what I mean? I would include her in the decision making. But bottom line is, end of the day, I'm gonna do for moms anyway. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna let this be known from the beginning of the relationship where my mother stands. Because any woman deal with me got to meet my mother. Any woman deal with me got to meet my mother. So if you see the love I have for my mother and you don't want to help me extend that love, then you're not the woman for me. That's just me. That don't make it right. In my book, in my world, it's right. Go ahead, Lily. I know you're ready to cuss me out.
Okay.
That quick.
No. Okay, let me just be clear. I do understand your perspective, and I do somewhat agree. I don't totally disagree with you, but I think it's different levels to this. Everybody's arrangement is different. Maybe with a girlfriend, probably not. But I feel like if you're married to a wife and you guys share responsibility, I believe that depending on what the mom, see, it's this question can go so broad, because I know a guy who actually his mom is like a social media. She's on, she's 50 something years old, but she likes to, showboat on social media, and she's not really that responsible. So she'll spend her money on a person, then go ask her son for money to pay her, to help pay her bills. And he's like, oh no, take the purse back. So to me, that makes all the sense in the world. Like, just because, I gotta tread lightly with this, because with mothers, everybody gets very sensitive. So I think if you share responsibilities, depending on what the need is, absolutely. If it's coming out the household pot, and let's just say mom is behind 2 months in the rent. First of all, with me and my money, because I have my own family, why are you 2 months behind in rent? Like, what have you done that required you to be 2 months behind in your rent? Now, if you have your own little pot, your own little stash, then you do what you want to do with mom or whatever. But as a couple, as a married couple, sharing bills, we have to have a discussion. And then, because a lot of times everybody's money is different. So if mom needs $2,000 and it costs us $2,000 to pay our bills, then now we short, and we got to come up with another way to get that $2,000. So I'm not saying just totally dismiss mom, but there have to be a conversation for sure, because my household can't fall short because mom is irresponsible.
Here you go.
No, you're 100%. Lily, we spoke on that also, because we used an example. Of mom wanting to trick off with Hassan and want to use my BMW to do it. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're dealing with when mom needs something, not when she wants something. Is the moral of the story. I just said that for a little light of it. No, but we're talking about as far as if mom just wants to go out with a dude and jerk the money off because, you know what I mean? She took Hassan to an expensive restaurant because she wanted to impress him. You know what I mean? Of course, those things, mom, get out of here. You know you're dead wrong. You shouldn't have did that, But at the end of the day, I got to still pay the bill. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I got to bring that now to my wife if I'm married. to let her know, because now we have an issue. You know what I mean? But moms, go ahead, unmute your mic. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
I mean, yeah, you hear me?
Yes.
I just wanted to add, I understand that too, and I was shaking my head in agreement with Lily. And I know a couple of other people nodding their head in agreement that circumstances do play a part.
What Lily said wholeheartedly. I agree with what Lily said wholeheartedly.
Yeah, circumstances do play a part. But at the same time, I can always look back to my life and how many times Mom Duke was there when I was incarcerated. I made a mistake. You know what I'm saying? And you can sit there and you can't. Now, if Mom is just straight up like, oh, you got the money and I'm just going to take advantage of y'all, that's a difference. But a true, genuine need, that's something that has to be required. But at the same time, I can still say, Mom, check this out. You've been messing up. We're going to help you out. But you can't keep doing this.
Exactly.
It still is a conversation.
We need to tighten up, Mom. Yeah, I mean, you're doing too much tricking with her side.
You know what I'm saying? It still is a conversation.
Yeah.
There's a conversation before we just say rigidly, nah. Because guess what? It's either we help her or Mom Dukes is living in the back room. And then you really want to...
Right.
No, give her the money right now, like yesterday.
Hey, okay. Go ahead, Norma. You was gonna say something?
No, I was saying that's exactly it. Everything starts with a conversation, and I think, like you said, before you even get that deep into a conversation, and I think Lily said it, when we're dating, that's when you find out, that's when I think this younger generation needs to ask the questions. Like, I think they wait until after they're deep into the relationship to really talk about the things that need to be established beforehand. And then I get into it and I realize this person don't even believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to ask those hard questions before we allow ourselves to get too involved in a relationship, so we'll know. Because I don't think it's necessarily a right or wrong per se for somebody else, but for me and my relationship, I'm first. I'm not a hard person, I'm a giving person, but I need my boundary lines to be established, and I need them to be real clear so that we don't have this level of confusion. So in my marriage, my husband already understands that I'm first. Like, there's nobody that comes before me, not your kid, not your mama, not nobody. I'm first. And so because I'm first, everything is going to come after me. Anything that's going to hinder or alter our lifestyle, it got to be a serious conversation, and we got to get on one accord and agreement with it. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I believe. So if you tell me my mother comes first, I know you're not the person for me. It doesn't make you a bad person. It just means you're not the right person for me.
Exactly. And I can deal with that. Because I can accept that. I don't want you anyway. You know? I'm just keeping it 100. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just being 100% honest. You know?
Somebody in the comments, they said that too. It's about the order. It's not even about whether you're going to help her or not, whether we address her needs or not. It's about making sure that we keep the boundary lines clear, that your wife is first. And that's really what it is. It's not even about whether you help her or not, because I would never disagree with my husband helping his mother if it's something that she needed. So
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's really it's really the order. It's not even about whether you help her, whether you meet her needs. Of course, I don't want you to not meet the need of your mother. Like, that just goes without saying. So, but I do want to be clear that I come first as a wife. So,
oh yeah, you definitely come first as a wife, but still, I got to make sure mom's good. You know what I mean? Get off of that topic. You know, mom's got to be good. And this is the way I raise my sons, even from in prison after 26 years, to look out for their mother, to know that their mother come first. You know what I mean? Because if they can love their mother, you know what I mean? That means they love themselves. And now they're capable of loving another woman and bringing a healthy little unique into that relationship.
Amen.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying that's from a man's point of view on how I feel, just my opinion, a man-child should be raised. Unmute your mic, Lily, because I can't hear you. You know what I mean? Lily, unmute the mic. Unmute your mic.
It's not
Oh,
muted.
hello? Oh, okay. Oh, I can't hear him. But anyway, so this is where we at until Lily come back in. But Lily stopped in for a minute, so if she don't stay in, I just wanted her to defend herself because I mentioned her name, because this topic started on a grown folks talk that me and her had when we had the miscommunication, you know what I mean, with this topic. And like I said, I'm a direct person, so I speak direct. You know what I mean? So when I get involved, I like to speak how I feel. And you might not like how it come out, because I'm a little, what y'all call brass, however y'all call it. And I know I feel that I'm wrong for that. I have to learn to be more empathetic, you know what I mean, when dealing with females. But 26 years in prison and then another 20 years on the street running around as a savage, you know, getting all the money in the world, doing what I want to do. I'm a little twisted, and I can admit that. You know what I mean? And I can admit that. And I need assistance too. You know what I mean? It's where we at. But you know, I really enjoy talking to y'all, man. And I think that when they look back at this, they'll get something out of it. And John, you came in, you didn't defend me.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
now,
we can hear you.
I have to say this before I leave. Unique, your situation is very unique because you're trying to pick up and make up for those 26 years that you've missed, which if you don't catch up, it's going to make it very hard for you to even love a woman, let alone keep a woman, a quality woman.
Why? Because I put my woman first.
No, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm not saying don't listen to me. I am not saying don't love your mother, nor am I saying don't be there for your mother. Love your mother. I love my mother to death, and I'm the girl that preach, hey, you better love everything about your mom today because you only got one. When it's over, it's over. I'm that girl.
Right. That's
but
right.
we all have
That's right.
but you have to use wisdom as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where you struggle with. So if you don't figure this thing out, you're gonna have a hard time loving a woman.
To use what? I didn't hear what she said, y'all. Somebody help me, because she
Please tell them what I said.
No,
she said use wisdom.
Okay, wisdom. No, go ahead, finish. I just didn't hear that word, Lily. Finish.
Well, I pretty much said what I was going to say. I said, I'm not saying don't love your mother to death, but I'm just saying it's gonna. I think your situation alone is very unique because you're trying to pick up from you're trying to make up for what you lost or what you missed for 26 years. But what I'm saying as a man, if
Lily, I was like this before I went to prison. Well, listen, when I was on the street, when I was on the street doing what I did, running around selling drugs up and down the East Coast, and everybody that know me was looking, the first thing I did was go to Miami and buy my mother a house.
I'm not saying unique. I am not saying that was wrong. I am not, but you also had a hard time loving women back then as well.
No.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna leave on that note. Love you guys. Bye. No, tell the truth, shame the devil.
What did we get into?
Tell the truth, shame the devil. Bye.
Lily, you can't drop a bomb like that and just go. She just dropped the bomb and left. That's crazy.
No, we let it go. I might not have loved her the way she wanted to be loved. You know what I mean? But
that's what it comes down to sometimes. It wasn't
about loving a woman. I knew how to love a woman. I just didn't trust a woman to give her my heart to love her because my heart was broken at a young age. You know what I mean?
Wait. So, because that was one of my questions that I had is that has anything in your life transpired that has affected you making decisions to move on? You know, like sometimes we allow the fear of something or something that happened to us. It causes us to now be very guarded in that area. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like, so, and I'm not saying that's your situation. That was one of my questions. Has anything in your life that transpired that now you look at that makes you look at things differently based upon, some of the things that we did. I'm just realizing that I had guards put up for 20 years that I didn't realize was up. But now I'm realizing that that's what's has affected me in my relationship because of something that transpired over 20 something years ago.
Okay, my situation was about love and my heart. I had my heart broken around like 17, 18, 16. And I didn't want to recuperate from it. I used that broken heart to drive me. You know what I mean? To get what I need. You know what I mean? I use that as my fuel, my motivation. You know what I mean? And with a lack of education, I took it in a negative field, became a kingpin. But education, I would have been that Fortune 500, company owner. But,
exactly.
But I say that to say that when my heart was broken, that didn't have anything to do with me and my mother's relationship. You know what I mean? That just had to do with me not trusting other women to allow them into my heart.
Right.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe y'all just not used to seeing a man this devotedly loving his mother.
That's not true.
That's
not true.
I didn't say it was. I said maybe that's just me throwing different scenarios out. Like you threw some scenarios out that I didn't agree with, but I'm not going to take it offensive.
No, we're not taking this offensively. I'm just saying that I understand his mother. But no, I understand the value of loving mothers.
I've been here defending me taking care of my mother's needs with women, which I think is ironic because I think it's crazy. I feel that a woman is supposed to be in tune with a man wanting to take care of his mother because she's now a mother and she now has sons. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but you should never put your wife in a position of wanting the love and attention that you give to your mom to her, because you put her before ahead of everything all the time. So it becomes a tug of war. It becomes
everything. No, stop it. Why y'all putting words there? Stop
it.
No, I said, period. If my mother needs something, she get it. If she want it, I'm going to check her if it's some bull crap. You know what I mean? And if my mother disrespect my woman, I'm going to check my mother.
Check her.
You did say that.
That too. Y'all didn't hear me say my woman disrespect my
No, you did say that. I heard you say that too.
Yes, I'm saying I'm balanced with this. Let's get it straight. But bottom line is, I am my mother's protector.
Right.
I am my mother's protector.
And I think my balance
be their mother's protectors and your son to be your protectors.
And I think we agreed that because me and you are not compatible, we'll never get married. So I don't have to worry about you putting your mother before me.
Exactly.
Because you don't. We're not compatible.
But I don't see how that's putting his mother before you. If he just said he'd check her if she's disrespectful. He's just saying where she has a legitimate need, he's gonna do what he has to do.
No. I think because maybe, I don't know, the whole conversation wasn't geared toward that one thing. I think the real question, I think it got kind of misdirected because for me, the original question was about putting your mother before your wife.
No, y'all
I think y'all took it that way. I really think y'all took it there.
Exactly.
I think the females took it there.
If my mother needed something,
that's what it was.
And I don't have to ask nobody to do for my mother.
My position is I still disagree with that if me and you are married.
No, you're by all means you're entitled to, but I just wanted to be known that was my initial statement. If I ever need my mother get in the story, I don't care who don't like it.
You started out that way though, but then you went on to my mother comes first. I don't care what's going on. My mother comes first. Like that's what I was saying. We couldn't tell.
That's where it went to the next phase.
We can't tell if we agree with you or not if you change your position throughout what you're saying. Like I started out thinking
it was still based off of a need though. It was still based off of a need. Everything he said was still based on
earlier.
No, he said if she needs it, he's gonna get it done regardless. Regardless if you agree with it or not. That's what he said. Regardless if you agree with it or not, he's still going to do. If he got to take the money and we argue about it, that's what he said. He still said my mother's needs are going to be met.
Okay, pause right there. That's the point that I'm making, Tangier. That might be where you got a little confused, and I'm glad that you're actually thinking about what Smith was saying because you're learning from today. You know what I mean? This whole thing, like I said, is when I said that if my mother needs it, she gets it. I don't care who don't like it, who argue about it, and I die my last breath on that. Period. And like Norma said, that she would never be my wife because of that. And I respect that. And I would love Norma for the woman she is because she acknowledged that at the beginning, so we don't have to get into a union and find out later. Now, for you, young Sanjay, what I'm saying is y'all took it to a lot of different angles trying to get me to bend my answer. So that's where all this other stuff came in with the wants. And that's when I started jokingly saying if she wanted to go out with Hassan and split the money with Hassan. That's when I went down that road because y'all went there to just joke with it so the older people listening, the youth and the elderly people could understand, you know what I mean, all aspects of this so that they could take what they feel is best for their life from it. And they don't have to agree with me. Go ahead, Audrey.
Do your mother's
Go ahead, Audrey.
do your mother's husband come before you, or do you come before her husband?
What do you mean? Does it come before me?
Yeah, who comes in that situation? You said that your mother comes first and all of the needs and all that. So do your needs come before your mother's? I mean, your needs come before your mother's husband's needs, or his needs come first?
Okay, it's two different relationships, so that don't even apply to me because I was raised to be a man to take care of myself, and if I don't have it, to do without it until I find a way to get it. You know what I mean? So I want my mother to be happy. If she's happy showering her man with the love and attention and affection that he needs, mom, give it to him. You know what I mean? Because you raised me to be my own independent man to stand on my own, acquire my own. You understand what I'm saying? So since I left, I've never went to live with my mother. All the time being out of jail, whatever I did, I've never went backwards. And I've been out on my own since I was 12, 13 years old, all the way. I mean, live with my brother and all in the urban base and all that. But I just want y'all to understand that so that we fully understand that. And I hope that when they look back at the tape, they will get something. So I ain't got to say hope. Bottom line is, go ahead, Tam.
So then if the basis is on needs, then we all agree. Like, only thing we said was I believe it should be a discussion regardless. I'm not saying I'm gonna be like no, but we could talk about it because we should talk about everything. Like, if your mother needs something, it's as important to me as it is to you. So
Okay. Go ahead.
So then I believe that in this instance that we all agree on that. The part where it differentiated was when we went into the other scenarios, maybe. But if the premise of what you're saying is that if your mother needs something, that the needs should be met, we all agree with that.
No, that's it. No, the other scenarios that we went into, y'all brought them up. You know what I mean? And I jokingly talked about it just to talk about it so that the people listening can hear all spectrum of the conversation. You know what I mean? And of the topic. But like I said, I even told you that I would tell my wife, you know what I mean? Hey, babe, mom needs a couple of dollars. Could you send that to her? You know what I mean? To put her in the room. But like I said, and I'll say it again, end of the day, whether she wants to or not, if my mom needs it, I'm doing it. So Norma, we'll never be in love, we'll never get married, and you always be a sister or auntie to me. But bottom line is, if my mama needs it, Jesus Christ can't stop me from giving it to her. You know what I mean?
Thanks for clearing that up. So thanks for clearing that up for me. So now I know I can move on.
You know what I mean? But I'm just letting you know, man, I can't help it if I love my mama to death, man. And I can't help it.
But did you answer the question?
Hey, Anita, you've been eating all day. Could I get something? When can I come get something to eat? You ain't chewing the whole food. You watching a movie and you eat popcorn.
Bro.
Hey, come on. But anyway, but y'all understand where I'm at with you. So, I mean, so that we understand, man. Like I said, I even said that I'll even jokingly tell you, you know what I mean? Hey, to put you in the loop. You know, I'm asking, can I send mom some money because mom needs it? But I'm gonna do it anyway. But I'm asking, you said you can feel it. You know, we even joked about that. Go ahead, Audrey.
Yeah. Well, I met your mother, and
thank you. But tell them about my mother so you know where I came
Your
from.
mother is an amazing woman. She's very sweet and caring and all of that. I mean, and let me tell you something, y'all. She sleeps with a picture of him beside her bed. She has all these other children, but I only seen pictures of you and me. I'm like,
while I was in prison.
What?
I'm letting them know for 26 years while I was in prison, being treated like hell, she had this picture next to her bed. Go ahead, Audrey.
Yeah, she had the pictures drew with them Jerry curls. You ain't had no good hair. That was Jerry curl picture.
Oh, with Jerry curl?
Yes.
Oh, you call it Jerry curl? Well, I down in with that. I'm a cool in. Y'all chat to screw it.
But she like
Uni, you a coolie boy? Uni, you was a coolie boy, Uni.
Mary Bush, you know where my father from.
He had the boys in the hood look.
But but serious talk though, man. I wanted to bring this conversation to one of my first.
Wait, I want to say something though.
I'm gonna step off. Finish. I'm listening.
Well, listen. She had told me then. She said that she believed then that you were coming home. I said, you really believe that? Just like she was like, yo, play these numbers. I'm gonna hit the lottery. I was like, and she said, when I hit the lottery, I'm gonna give you some money. I was like, really? So she said that by her faith that you was gonna make it home before she passed. I mean, it came to fruition. So that did your situation helped restore a little bit of faith in me, because I was telling people, I mentioned it to y'all. Remember, I mentioned his situation to y'all before. And I was like, yo, that was a situation of not moving backwards, but just to say the relationship that they do have, so you can understand possibly where he may come from, even though his techniques and his words is like kind of out there a little bit, you know. But
damn, bro. Damn, man.
Right now, that picture's still sitting here. That was a guy.
She said, my joints is like kind of out there, like I'm a Martian.
Yo, Uni, it's good we doing a podcast, bro, because they probably jump you after the show, man.
You know, hey, I can see Norma and Tangier now waiting outside with their box cutters.
Never that. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All love, man. All love. This is all love, man.
Amen.
All I gotta do is give Anita something to eat and she gonna calm him down. Go ahead, Anita.
She got to mute her mic.
The mic is on mute. Take your mute off. There you go.
I said,
hey, Haas, you next. All right, Haas, you next.
Okay.
Go ahead, Anita. I'm gonna step off. What you saying, Anita?
Oh, I said it
was
really nice, but I'm gonna have to go now. I have to go to work.
Okay, we've been up here way long enough too, but go ahead, we're gonna just wrap it up here because we just vibing. All right, nice having you, Anita. Everybody, thank you, Anita.
God bless you. Nice having you. God bless you, Anita.
I don't know what we would have did without watching you chew all morning.
Boy, that mother and daughter team ain't no joke over there.
Oh, you know, man, they trying to
that mother and daughter team right there.
Unique, one gonna hit you with the bat and the other one gonna cut you. You know?
Listen.
Because I love my mama.
But but let me just say this to you, Unique. Me and my daughter might cut you on one side, but trust me, there's a two-edged sword that comes with us. There's healing on the other side because we all about love and bringing it together. So thank you for this opportunity for us to get together.
Wait, hold on. So you say you're gonna cut me and bandage me up, and I should feel better about that.
Absolutely.
She's gonna play the devil and the good Samaritan.
But because let me tell you why. Because some of the stuff that you transpired in your life, it was trying to heal, but it couldn't heal properly because it didn't get the right things that it needed. Like you said, the word that you got now, you didn't get it 20-something years ago, so it got you in trouble. But now you have people that are surrounding you to give you what you need to heal properly. So now that we cut you, we open you back up so we can give you the right word, the right salve that you need on it, so that when we close you back up this time, you're a better person than you was 20-something years ago. And that's what me and my daughter do. That's what our family does. That's who we are.
So there's a bunch of people walking around with scars there. See, I got a bunch of people with scars walking around.
With bandages, with bandages with hearts on them. With bandages with hearts on them after.
But wait, the bandages and scars were already there. We already saw the scars. What we do is address the scars that you weren't willing to address.
That's how you got to do it. That's how you got to do it.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do.
It was a Jimmy had to laugh. She said, "That's what we do, Ma."
Hey, Uni, man. I don't know if you went over to my business page and read post I put up there for you, man. But I wanted to touch on it just a little bit, man, because on some real stuff. You might not even remember, man, but you helped me. Like, you saved me on a certain level, dog. Like, when you met me, I had just came in fresh 15, bro. I was wilding on paper, checking people paperwork, doing all types of stuff, and I got in trouble. And I think you were getting transferred at the time because that's when something happened, and you saw me in the hole, bro. And you was like, yo, man, you already back here? And I was like, yeah, man, checking paperwork. And he was like, yo, bro, listen, bro, you a stand-up dude, man. They need us back out there pretty much, you know what I mean? Dudes like us got to get back out there and help the youth, man. And it's like they put these people around us that did something that we stand up man would never have done so that we could end up with life. You know what I mean? And you made me see something like, yo, I gotta forgive these people who did what they did to me, bro. And people need to know that, man, because this didn't start out here. Unique has helped over 100 people get back out throughout the course of his 26 years. I was in there with him. I was in 2 different jails with Unique. I met him when I first got in there. I messed up. 4 years later, I meet him in the Maxes. You know what I mean? From them playing games with him, moving him around and stuff. You know what I mean? And then we linked back up and we were together for another 4 years in the Maxes. You know what I mean? Then I left. Then he transferred. I went home. And now we linked up out here in the street. So I really appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean? You don't know what your words meant to me at that time, but you gave me another way to rationalize being in there, bro. And from the heart, I thank you, bro.
Amen.
When I came in the system, there was only maybe 7 penitentiaries. You know what I mean? Maximum security prisons when I came in 1993, 7. You know what I mean? If that, it might be 5. You know what I mean? But right now they got like 30.
Yeah.
Now they have 30. You know what I mean? When they was picking us up back then, they was picking up all the brains, all the heads of the organization they was picking up. And then they grabbed the soldiers and called them co-conspirators. And then they went to the soldiers and said, look, we don't want you. We want Unique off the street because that man can think and he's dangerous out here. So I'm going to give you your freedom if you help me get Unique off the street. But then you got to work with me for the rest of your life. So anytime another Unique pop up, you help me get him off the street or I'm going to put you in a cage with Unique. And that's the way the system works. You know what I mean?
And that's what happened to our communities in the 80s and 90s. You know that truth and sentencing that Clinton passed.
I say that to say that when I came in, I was on the mentality that John was on. But, you know, after I did what I did, you know, and wound up in ADX and got around brothers that had 20 years in when I only got 20 months in. It was already 20 years when I only been in 20 months. You know what I mean? So I listened. You know what I mean? And they let me know where I'm going. You know what I mean? Do y'all think that pandemic gave some of us PSD? I mean,
maybe
we all crazy to an extent anyway. You know what I mean? We
9/11 did that. 9/11 gave us all PTSD.
Everything gives it to us.
The community we live in.
Life in general.
But I did 12 and a half. I got too much PTSD.
You know, we learn to balance it with our lives, man. You know, but like I said, there was a lot of penitentiaries then. There wasn't a lot. So then after they came up like that, then, you know, they started picking up anyone. They started putting the soldiers in, even the soldiers that was telling. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, you know, that's what really made it what it is. So I learned how from my elders, you know, that it don't matter what the next person did. Let God judge him and you worry about getting in yourself safe at the end of the night and getting out of prison by the morning. So every night for 26 years, I said my prayer to get out of prison. For 26 years, it wasn't answered, but I never gave up faith. And like all you said, my mother never gave up faith and would never allow me to give up my faith. You know, gaining my freedom to be out here with her as a free man. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Like I got a son. Oh man, where's that? I got pictures of him, but I got a son. A couple of months old when I got locked up. I missed his first birthday because I was in prison. I got locked up on this case. And then here it comes. I fought to get out of jail for 26 years. You know what I mean? I get out of jail to get home to be with my son, to at least spend a birthday with him as a free man. It took me 26 years. His 27th birthday was November 23rd. I missed that. You know what I mean? I came home and he's in prison doing 29 years.
Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I haven't spent one birthday with my son with both of us being free. His whole life,
His whole life. His whole life.
56. So by the time he get out of jail, I'll be 70-something years old, and then I can celebrate his first birthday.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Put another 20 years on his 27, he'll be 47. When
That's why we gotta save him, bro.
Together. So now I
Yeah.
gotta stop to be 77 so I can have this one birthday with this boy I've been trying to catch up with. Like Norma said, you know, Lee, I was trying to make up for something and all this crap. You know what I mean? Crap, pure crap. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I loved my mother before I went in. And the first money I got, and yeah, the government knew it because they went to try and take that house from the snitch in the case, tried to get the house taken. First money I got, I bought my mama a house. First money I got, I bought my mama a car. You know what I mean? And I didn't need to go to jail. I didn't need no traumatic experience to have that. You understand? I just listened to her and I paid attention to her. And I know that she made sacrifices for me that at the time I wouldn't have made for no one.
Nobody. For
no one.
Amen.
And she made it for my 6 brothers and sisters with me.
Mm-hmm.
When I mentioned about her taking the 2 flat rocks in Jamaica and putting it between her breasts to squeeze the last of the milk out because she was having kids back to back. You know what I'm saying? And we couldn't afford to feed them. How do you not love a woman like that? How do you not honor and respect a woman like that?
Exactly. Amen.
You know? And then you got haters and ignorant people that say, oh, you shouldn't have been screwing so much. You know what I mean? They always by the same man. She loved my father, regardless what I think of. They was in love, and that's what happened. And she did what she had to do to raise us. Look at the man I become today. Yeah, I'm aggressive, I'm all that you want to call it, but I'm still a man. Damn it. You know, an honorable man. You know what I mean? And that's what it is.
All right.
So, you know, I don't mean to, you know, be too brass or too cocky or whatever y'all might want to call it, but it is what it is, man. You know? So, everybody's got anything to say before we go? We've been on here 3 hours, y'all. They done had a good little Sunday to look back on all week. It'll take them all week to watch this, but at least they can watch it to decide what we're going to do next week. You know what I mean? Hassan, you look good as hell, baby. And I'm still
not baby.
No money to trick on you, brother.
Haas, I need a haircut, man. I need a haircut. I need a haircut, Haas.
Hey, listen,
I'm scared
I
to get a
come up there and
haircut.
give you one. I come there and give you one.
COVID, I'm scared. I'm scared.
All right. But anyway, it's after 2, man. I really enjoyed y'all. I enjoyed this. And I hope y'all enjoyed it too. I think when y'all look back at it, y'all will see what's going on. You know what I mean? And you know, pray for my son, Mahdi Jabri Holmes. He's locked up for 29 years. So all prayers help. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but you know, my man Larry Moe and Moochie, you know, just lost their son. Condolences to them. You know what I mean? So, you know, at least you know, man, it is what it is, man. It's just a hard jungle out here, man. It's all jungle. But like I said, the movement information, if you want to join the Mecca Audio Entertainment movement, we here, man. We want to thank y'all. Anybody where y'all want to tune out? Sharon, I love your smile. You know what I mean? You're still full of crap. I love your smile. Norma, you even more full of crap. And Audrey, you know what I mean? But y'all ain't got to do me. I love y'all regardless, man. I mean, that's what makes the world go around. I know I'm full of crap. You know what I mean? But I thank y'all for coming. Yeah, all right. So good night, y'all. Good
night. All right, good afternoon. Peace. Peace.
Don't forget the brothers still in there, man. For real, man. We can't forget them, man. All y'all brothers still in there, man.
That's right. We can't forget them.
Either, man.
Can't forget them at all. Not at all. Amen. That's right.